only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Sacktown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then
boom, with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he.
No, there was no NBA Finals yesterday or today either. That is tomorrow. For today, let's go streaking. Safer out and mainly baseball from Monday and today to talk about.
Mainly baseball. That's not dominating our rundown.
That is 100% not dominating our rundown. But we'll honestly, there's a little bit of a difference here. Mike, I know you have Chris's number. Shoot him a text and have him lay out what we're doing other than baseball today, and you guys figure it out in the break, and we'll adjust accordingly. So,
okay.
So, Jason, yesterday was the I don't know what it's called. I think it's the developer conference for Apple, the computer company, not the fruit. And their big announcement was that they are integrating AI into Apple phones and operating systems over the next, whatever. And they announce it, and then they do what's called a beta, and they figure out all the bugs. And then I think sometime in the fall is when they release the public one. But I was reading, and it's always dangerous. I found out that it's actually incredibly easy to sign up as a developer for Apple. Like, it doesn't cost anything. Just go literally use your Apple ID and you can become a developer. And then you can test out the beta immediately.
Okay.
So I did that. Couple of easy steps. And by the way, I'm now I have 3 jobs now. I'm now officially an Apple developer. Okay.
Work.
Yeah. No. I get no compensation or anything, but I'd like to think that I am now technically working for Apple Computer. Really,
you give them free labor.
I do, and I would like stock options. They have not granted that yet, but so I downloaded the new iOS, and it was a little intimidating at first because they said things like, "Make sure you back up your phone." Can't guarantee this won't. Basically, it's like, none of this is really, like, we figured out most of it, but that's why we're doing this beta, to find out what all the bugs are. So we can't get, if you have a backup phone to do this with, we suggest you do that because this could literally like destroy your phone and everything in it, and you could be completely screwed. And I was like, okay, yes. So I downloaded the thingy dingy, and so far I've been able to do fun things like change the color of my apps on my phone.
They all look the same now.
Well, I made them blue-ish, kind of turquoise. No, okay. And I did that, Jason, to match your shirt.
Yeah,
thank you. Yeah, you're welcome.
I'll keep you guessing tomorrow.
Yeah, well, exactly. It's like in Heartbreak Ridge. You got to figure out what shirt he's wearing. That's a weird reference by me. So anyways, I started getting into the AI part of it, right? Which they call Apple Intelligence. And boy, did I start having a lot of fun.
I know you did.
So the first thing I did is I had it write me a script based on the voice, intonations, etc. of Sir Patrick Stewart for a soccer team to come out and be pumped up to with the crowd. Surprisingly, incredibly good. I actually sent it off to the people over there, and they're like, wow, way to integrate the history. I was like, yeah, that's right. I did my research. Then I started getting...
Was there a follow-up on how to act when you first talked to Sir Patrick Stewart?
I wish it was. I really...
And if you're in any of these scenarios?
I really wish there was. There were directorial notes, however. The screen transitions to black and white footage of early 20th century matches, players charging forward, the crowd cheering. Like it's in there with the script. So then I started applying it to sports talk radio. I was like, write me. What was it? What was the prompt? Because you have to come up with a prompt. That's the key. Like, write me 3 fun questions based on today's Major League Baseball. And write the premise, then write safe or out, then write the question itself. And lo and behold,
a lot of commands.
Yeah, there's a lot of commands. You got to tell it what to do. And, a lot of it was like, safe or out. Do you think the pitch clock has helped with the safe or out? Shohei Ohtani's MVP, which I think I actually stole that one. Yeah. Safe or out, then I had it like knock out some 3 for madnesses. I was just kind of test running it. I texted with you and was like, dude, check this out. Like, give me a thing. Give me a whatever. And I think you asked me like rank the Pacific Division coaches.
Yeah. Which ends up on the show today. Then I started getting really into it. And apparently you can integrate it, although it's in early form, but you can integrate it with a Google Doc. So it will literally read the doc and the format so that you can say, all right, fill out all these segments, and it will integrate it into the doc itself. Now, what I'm going to work on today is, here's the best part. I don't know too much about this yet, so if somebody is an expert on this, don't make fun of me if I'm getting this wrong, but apparently there is a plugin where you can speak like a bunch of different, they give you a bunch of different words to say, right? They basically record them internally so that they can mimic your intonations and your voice, right? Yeah, I know. But the idea is this. Write me a 14-minute sports talk radio segment on Coach Mike Brown and whether or not he should have signed an extension. And then provide voice and narration to fill a 13-minute segment. And then actually not just have the text, but also have the voice. So you conceivably could have your entire show done by AI. There wouldn't be a lot of interaction between you and I haven't figured that part out yet. But obviously not going to do this. But it's fun to poke around in because honestly, I just kind of got through, like, it's a book, and I opened up like the first couple pages of it, and I'm like, oh my God, this is actually a little bit, and I'm not talking about like AI Terminator, we're all going to get taken over by Arnold Schwarzenegger type stuff that I'm saying like, it's scary, and at the same time, it's a little bit exciting because honestly, not to get too deep, but that's what we do in the mornings. I honestly think we're kind of, I don't want to overstate it because everybody overstates new developments, right? I do actually think we're on the verge of like a massive evolution for society. Like, and I don't know that that's a good thing, but I'm saying we have all this information in our pockets. We have our AirPods, we're getting into the vision, the virtual reality stuff, which will all shrink down and eventually be contacts or glasses only. Now you've got this stuff where it's like Iron Man, where you can basically just like, I'm in my office yesterday and my daughter's like, who are you talking to? I'm like, the computer. And I'm just like, do this and this, and then write the thing and all that. We're getting to the point where you're going to be like, I don't know, Jason, you're going to be like, hey, write me a code for a website or for an app that will remind me to get toilet paper and mow the lawn. And
You copy paste it, and boom, you have this app on your phone that you just wrote that other people can use. And I just don't know if it's a good thing for people to have that much information, and people are going to resist and they're going to freak out and they're going to be like, not for me. And then those people will die. I mean, that's just how it works. Like once upon a time, I guarantee you somebody would like in the Cowboy weekly podcast chat in 1864, there was Cowboy MC in there probably that was like, I'm not doing the electricity. It's the devil. And then, you know, we all accept electricity now. The electricity will give you face cancer. I guarantee you that was a take sometime post Edison. And now we all are good with it.
How well did you read those terms and conditions?
Yeah, I never do. Nobody does. They probably own my kids.
You know, AI Carmichael Dave is going to be doing a lot of spots on podcasts pretty soon.
Is that why those cars are outside?
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, they're monitoring.
The first time you do the voiceover one, you really need to have it do the hot dog as a sandwich.
Just the whole question.
14 minutes of it
blows up.
You know, I'm glad you said that, Jason, because I was actually trying to think of something here. Where are you? All right, here we go. Write me in the style of a sports talk radio segment an argument in favor of a hot dog being a sandwich. Let's test that one out here real quick. The cool part, though, is when you're just going to be able to get it to say the thing and not me have to read it. Yeah, also, I didn't think about having it I didn't think about it being able to do my recorded spots. That's actually incredibly interesting. Okay, Jason. Well, as you can see, here is my prompt. Here is the...
Oh, my gosh.
And what are headphones for? Oh.
Hey, I'm ready to hit the ground running.
Which one
so
do
if there's anything you'd like me to focus on first?
Hey there. I've got a really great feeling about us.
Hey, I'm ready to hit.
Hey, it's great to meet you.
Hi there. I just want to
Let's
share
go with her.
Hey there. I've got a really great.
Okay. Nope, don't want to do that. Oh, it just tried to connect to my photos. So basically,
why did it do that?
Here's what I would say. All right, folks, buckle up because we're diving headfirst into one of the most heated debates in all of food sports.
Would you want to be buckled up if you're diving headfirst?
I don't think so. Is a hot dog a sandwich? I'm here to argue that it is absolutely unequivocally a sandwich. Let's break it down play by play. See, I said in the style of, right. First up, the bread. What makes a sandwich a sandwich? Bread, right? And what do you see when you look at a hot dog? Bread, holding all that deliciousness together. A hot dog bun is essentially just a hinged roll. No different than a hoagie or a sub.
I think you're AI.
You think so?
This almost sounds Rami Makloff.
Dude, that's honestly not a bad thought you just had at all. I don't know why, but the hinged roll thing got me. But now let's talk about the filling. I'm reading it verbatim, by the way.
Oh, I thought you came up with that.
No, that's not. That's Apple. For a sandwich, you got meat, cheese, veggies, condiments, the works. And guess what? A hot dog ticks those boxes too. Shut up, Chris. You got the sausage, which is your primary protein. Then you pile on the toppings, onions, relish, mustard, ketchup, sauerkraut, chili. The list goes on. This is classic sandwich territory, people. Now, let's address the structure. Some might say, no, if I did this in like a Stephen A voice, not me, but I'm saying if it could mimic a Stephen A voice, and verbatim everything I was just saying was being said with his intonations. If you were listening to that on the radio, for example, would you stop and be like, this doesn't sound like a Stephen A thing? It 100% to me would be able to be passed. That's a little scary.
Yes, it is. Was that all?
No. Now let's address the structure. Some might say that because the bun is connected, it's different. But think about this. A sub or a hero sandwich often has the bread connected at the back, creating the same cradle-like structure. We don't question those as sandwiches, do we? Finally, let's hit it with some history. The hot dog in its earliest forms was often served in bread. It's a natural evolution from sausages served on a roll. It's just as much a sandwich as a meatball sub or a Philly cheesesteak. So there you have it. Bread, check. Filling, check. Structure, check. History, check. By all logical measures, A hot dog is a sandwich. It's time we embrace it and welcome it to the sandwich family. And hey, if you disagree, you know the number. Let's hear your take. All right, we've got callers lighting up the lines already. What do you think, folks? Is a hot dog a sandwich? Safe or out? What? Look at the bottom. I swear to God, it says safe or out.
Because you trained it.
That's because that's
sports are out.
Oh my God, that's scary.
And please get your new Apple iPhone today.
We'll take a break. When we come back, leading off, Dan Hurley and LOL Lakers. Mike Tomlin is a marvel, as are the Steelers, and the Giants say bye-bye, baby. We'll get to all leading off on a Tuesday next.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
The handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10, 5, touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sacktown Sports.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Let's do it. Leading off, the 3 top stories in the morning.
Huge news. This is very important.
Here's cut number 1.
Dan Hurley just informed his players, his administration, that he's turned down the Lakers job. He's going to remain at UConn, chase a 3rd straight national championship. I'm told he was offered a 6-year deal worth $70 million. That would have put him among the top 6 highest paid coaches in the NBA. The Lakers were relentless in their pursuit of Hurley, but ultimately his opportunity to make history at UConn, to win a 3rd straight title, to do that for the first time potentially since the John Wooden UCLA teams was too much to walk away from at UConn.
Okay. Well, hey, congrats, Chris. Chris the Contrarian wins one.
He got it right.
He got one. He was the one guy here to pick that Dan Hurley would spurn the Lakers right around the 20th anniversary of Mike Krzyzewski doing the same thing. And now we're left. And now again, I know this is a Sacramento radio station. We are a Kingstown. So as I was writing the rundown today, my half was like, why are we spending so much time on this? Well, first off, it's summer. Let's talk about it. Secondly, it is a big story. But thirdly, I actually, remember yesterday, Jason, we were talking about the Caitlin Clark thing, and it was like, okay, that's interesting, but it's the periphery that's actually really interesting beyond Caitlin Clark herself. I actually think this story is really interesting, and it kind of rubs up on one of my obsessions, as you know, which is how sports media and specifically NBA media works. So you have this pretty consistent story that JJ Redick is the favorite to get the Lakers coaching job. And James Borrego is either right behind him or maybe going to come in as his assistant. And that's coming in from one major national guy, Shams Charania.
Right.
Go back 2 weeks ago, we talked about how Shams and Woj were reporting on the Mike Brown gig and how Woj is generally a team guy. Shams is a player agent camp guy, generally. So Shams is reporting all this stuff, and then out of the blue, Woj, Dan Hurley. Now he's the front runner. He's been the front runner. They're very serious. All this stuff happens. Shams is having a bad week. People are ripping him like, oh, yeah, great job on the JJ Redick thing, dude. And he's like, what's Shams going to do? That's what I've been hearing, legit from sources. Hurley comes in, and you're getting real-time reporting from the Hurley camp, really. I don't know about the Lakers. A little bit of like it's always been the front runner and all. We don't know where that's coming from. But we certainly know that Woj is in the Hurley camp. He had that little interview or meeting or conversation, phone interview, they said, with him after the offer was made. And like legit, like the offer was made, he's thinking about it, like real intimate details. He then turns it down. We have the numbers he turned down. And Woj just got a week and a half of massive coverage, clicks, and everything. God knows what on ESPN. For a story of a coach that took a job interview and turned it down. Right. And now we're back to Shams again and everything else.
Yeah, what's next? Yeah.
And it's like, well, why does Woj, excuse me, why does Woj, for example, like, what is his connection with that? Why is Woj in the Hurley camp? Why isn't Shams in the Hurley camp? And then you type up a couple things and you come up with the 1996 book, The Miracle of St. Anthony, a season with Coach Bob Hurley and basketball's most improbable dynasty by Adrian Wojnarowski 18 years ago.
He has the copy of that book or the poster behind him when he talks on ESPN.
And it's so interesting to go through the fact that we live in a society, that consumes this information so thirstily, if you will. And we just had a complete media cycle, not fabricated. I'm sorry, that's not the wrong word. I'm not trying to imply Woj wasn't correct and didn't have right sources or Shams. But a whole media cycle created, and everybody like piranhas to a thing of baloney, And in the end, what happened? The Lakers asked a college coach, a really good one, if he wanted to coach for them, and he said no. And now they're moving back to, you would think, hi, JJ. Hey, it's Rob. No, dude, don't believe that. You're our guy. Like, that's where we're at right now.
Right.
What? I am offended.
The Andersons got a job offer.
I'm going to Connecticut to work with Dan Hurley.
So now we're back to that. I don't know. Has anyone else? I know we're at Dan Hurley turned it down. Have we seen anything on now we're back to JJ Redick and James Borrego?
Nothing official. Yeah. I think they just said the last thing was that they wanted a coach by the draft, which is a week and a half away or so.
Yeah, sweet. Well, you expect they're going to name somebody probably today or tomorrow.
2 weeks away.
Yeah. Now it's okay. Well, we got that, but now guess what? Dan Hurley's offers out there. So why would you offer Borrego or JJ Redick less? So are they kind of locked into that? Do they want more, perhaps?
If I'm Redick or Borrego's agent, that's the venture. That's the
start.
Right.
The Lakers, and we'll get into this later, are not a serious franchise. They could not have run this worse. The Kings would have run laps around them doing this, and that's saying something. We'll get into that here in about 7 minutes. Cut number 2, please.
Cut number 2.
Mike Tomlin is entering his 18th season as head coach of the Steelers, and it looks like he won't be leaving the Steel City anytime soon. That's because Tomlin and the Steelers have agreed to a 3-year extension that'll keep him with the franchise through the 2027 season. Tomlin has never had a losing record in 17 seasons as Pittsburgh's head coach, leading the team to 11 playoff appearances and 1 Super Bowl title.
Well, at this point, it looks like Bill Cowher was a flash in the pan. I love this. I'm a huge fan of Mike Tomlin. You just heard it there. Has never had a below 500 season in now going on 18 years. He's 173, 102. He's the most successful coach in Steelers history. And the streak continues. Chuck Noll took the Steelers over in 1969. Everyone just pausing for effect here. Chuck Noll took the head coaching position for the Pittsburgh Steelers in 1969. The Beatles were wrapping up their career, Man on the Moon, all that stuff. There have been 2 coaches since Chuck Noll for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Bill Cowher and Mike Tomlin. That is just honestly one of the craziest stats in all of sports history. It really honestly to me is up there with 755, 56 game hitting streak, Wilt Chamberlain, whatever you want to call it. 3 coaches in the NFL in 55 years and counting.
Especially in the way things have changed with that position where it's like, oh, he was successful but didn't win a Super Bowl. He's gone. And you're going, man, there's been coaches that have been in programs and organizations that have had things very successfully done, and they move on from guys.
Right. No continuity.
Yeah.
And, I mean, look, it helps that Mike Tomlin hasn't had a season below 5. He's backed it up. Just so you just to give you an idea, since 1969, the Buffalo Bills have had 17 head coaches. 17 head coaches. Good for Mike. Good for the Steelers. You got to respect that. And I mean, how many different builds has he seen?
Right.
And now he's going into year 18. In fact, I remember it like it was yesterday, Jason. I was sitting there reading Adrian Wojnarowski's book on Dan Hurley in 2006, and I looked down and I looked up and I saw the late, great Stuart Scott and Chris Berman talking about Mike Tomlin getting hired for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They both happened in the same year.
Yeah.
How about that?
What a day to remember.
What a day to remember. We'll take a break. When we come back, Dan Hurley says, my name is no, my number is no, my sign is no. I'm going back to UConn. And why? What do they do? But one thing I'm not sure, I can't report on with Dan Hurley, is whether or not he switched to electric year-round. Carmichael Dave here, looking at our rundown. Chris, am I reading this correctly, by the way? Am I reading both these breaks right? I am? Okay. Let's talk about American Energy Heating and Air. Let's talk about switching to electric year-round. Let's talk about saving money, a lot of money. Let's talk about checking all those boxes. And by the way, those rebates, up to $9,000. Oh, and guess what? Yeah, they'll do all that for you. American Energy, like your own human AI. Oh, yeah, we were just talking about that. They'll fill out all the forms. You don't have to worry about it. In the meantime, you can get rid of all those fluctuating PG&E bills. You can rest comfortably in your wonderfully cool, energy-efficient home in the summer and nice, warm temperatures on the inside in the wintertime without having to worry about the bills going around like a gas pump. 1981 is when American Energy started. By the way, 1981, when Chuck Noll was just halfway through his tenure as Pittsburgh Steelers coach, A+ Better Business Bureau rating. 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 and AmericanEnergyAir.com. Making the uncomfortable comfortable. Dan Hurley says no to the Lakers. We'll talk about it next.
Our first year as the radio home of the San Francisco 49ers is one we will never forget.
And Logan Ryan picks him up. Looks like they're playing man. Laporta's over there as well. It's 5 out. It's empty on 4th down. Goff back. Not going to get out to his right. Being chased. Throws, and it is incomplete. The 49ers take over on 4th down again.
Congratulations to the 49ers on a terrific year. And thank you for so many wonderful memories.
Save on rows and rows of new Hondas during our giant summer sale at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Hurry in and save on our best selection of new Hondas. Each is priced to sell now. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on a giant selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline, Civics, and Accords with low finance and lease options. Get to Folsom Lake Honda or go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop. Hey sports fans, it's JaVale McGee here. Are you ready for the event of the summer? It's the Jug Life Charity Softball Game hosted at Sutter Health Park on Saturday, June 15th. Join me and all my celebrity friends for the #1 event of the summer as our incredible community comes together for a cause that counts. The Jug Life Charity Softball Game isn't just about softball. It's about giving back. All proceeds go to the water education programs and providing clean water to communities in need. Thanks to your support, our team with Jug Life is making a real difference, bringing hope and health to those who need it the most. Bring your family and friends for a day you won't forget. Cheer on your favorite stars as they hit it out the park for a great cause. Come celebrate Father's Day weekend at the Jug Life Charity Softball Game that's happening on Saturday, June 15th. Don't miss out. Get your tickets now at juglifewater.com. That's juglifewater.com. Join us, have fun, and make a difference. Jug Life. Drink water, give water, save water.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you target the right audience, build your leads, and crush your quota. Take your business to the next level. Our digital marketing strategies help grow awareness of your product or service, all while building trust in your business. Our approach involves leveraging multiple tools and strategies to deliver exceptional results that are customized to your unique business needs. Don't wait to run out of sales leads. Keep your business growing. Get started with aimyourdigital.com today.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Kyle Draper from Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, and they have a special deal going right now just for you. Receive your first month's payment up to $1,500 on them on select new 2024 GLE vehicles or the all-new E-Class now at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Rates begin at 1.99% APR on select certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz. Plus, you can always check out their other deals at mbofstockton.com or head on down I-5 to Mercedes.
On Sacktown Sports.
All I know is this: if the Sacramento Kings were in the same situation the Lakers were, and they handled this the way the Lakers did,
yeah,
I'd be losing. I'd be catatonic. I would have lost my mind. I'd be pissed off at the leaks. I would be absolutely pissed off at the leaks. How this played out publicly. How they were negotiating in public, basically. Then what I would then absolutely go crazy over, I wouldn't even be convinced that, then it's the whole, why are we going after a rookie college coach? Again, no offense to Dan, who may be like the most amazing, he may be Red Auerbach and Pat Riley in disguise. He's a rookie coach in the NBA coming in and dealing with the biggest superstar, veteran, face of the league and LeBron James,
right,
and friends. But that's what you choose on top of everything else. And then when I'd read that after all this, Jason, they offered him 6 years and $70 million. Again, that's a ton of money. It's generational money. That's not the conversation we're having. We're having a basketball money conversation. And a basketball money conversation, that's not enough to get it done, apparently. You got to figure that out.
It's the wealthiest franchise, most expensive franchise, right? So
and none of this factors in the salary cap. Just want to remind everyone.
Last year, clearly, a team like Detroit wanted Monty Williams.
Yes.
They paid him one of the highest contracts in sports.
100%. Detroit.
So, yeah. They had.
Why are you not? What is going on with you and me this morning? We both have like 90 frogs in our throats. That's crazy.
So they obviously had a plan.
Yes.
And they went for it.
Yes.
Now, I don't know if this was strictly money. That's got to be a huge factor.
Sure.
But the part of the, when you're talking about Woj and Shams and all that, if you try to connect the dots, this is what I'm trying to do is part of me wonders, you said, why did it get public? Well, obviously there is a connection between Woj and the Hurley family. So is any part of this of Hurley, look, let me listen to the Lakers. I am interested, but also how can I parlay this? And because there's already reports now that Connecticut, fiercely loyal to them. I'm sure he's going to get more money out of this going back to UConn. And if that's not made public,
for sure,
does that happen? I'm sure it can be done internally, But now there's more public pressure. Like, hey, look, our guy's sticking with us. His goal to get a third championship in a row, or at least a third one here in the recent years. We've got to pay our guy to keep him here because he obviously has had a wandering eye a little bit. So do you think that's any part of Hurley's motivation is to get that in the public?
Yeah, I think so. But how, if you're the Lakers?
Well, how do you keep Woj from doing that? If he's got the connection and I'm Woj and I hear Dan Hurley's telling me,
right,
look, I've met with the Lakers. I'm meeting with them again this weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, all his details were right as far as Woj said. He said, look, he's going to think about it and make a decision on Monday. He thought about it and he made his decision yesterday.
At some point, if you're the Lakers, though, do you step in and go, guys, we can't play this out in public? Dan, we're cool with talking to you, but you got it.
Too late, right?
Right. At that point, the toothpaste is out of the tube.
Yeah.
And you just got left at the door for the prom.
Yeah. But remember, while Shams is doing all this about Redick, I don't remember Woj tweeting about that. Like usually one of them is first, and then the other one's like, wow, okay, both guys are saying the same thing. This is happening. But I found it odd. If I remember right, I thought Shams was the one talking about Redick. I go, I don't think Woj is talking about this.
Which it's not like they get to do a draft pick of,
right.
It's like
you should have the same information.
You should have the same information, similar information. Maybe Shams has this guy in the camp, but Woj is that guy. But in this case, it's like Shams is Team Redick Borrego, and Woj was Team Hurley. And in the middle of the whole thing is this whole Laker deal, which let me put it a different way. You think Woj and Shams, let's take Dan Hurley and JJ Redick and James Borrego. I mean, I'm just throwing James Borrego in there because he's been a part of the conversation. Let's take this whole thing and the whole situation and everything. Greg Popovich retired last year. And it's the search for the next San Antonio Spurs coach to take the mantle from Popovich, and you're in charge of Victor Wembanyama. You think the search is playing out anywhere near the way it's played out right now with R.C. Buford? Hell no.
Right.
Hell no, it's not.
Yeah.
I don't mean look, I keep having to say this because, and for those who listen almost every minute of every day, I say this every once in a while because I just don't want to sound too repetitive. I will do a lot of disclaimers because in this day and age, things get clipped up. They get cut off for context.
Who would do that?
Exactly. It's because I've worked with Verlad for so long. So I said it yesterday. I'll say it again today. I have nothing personal against Jeannie Buss. I have nothing personal against Kurt Rambis, the Rambis family, anyone associated with the Lakers. From all accounts, including from our good friend Sam Amick, Jeannie is a very pleasant person. Players seem to like her. It's nothing personal. Just like when I criticize Vivek, it's never personal. Jeannie Buss has no idea what she's doing. And as a Kings fan, I'm fine with that. But at some point, we have all these conversations about Nepo babies all the time. And we use that with John Fisher. By the way, Jeannie Buss, John Fisher, not even in the same category. Obviously, she legitimately wants to win and she just doesn't know how. And Dr. Buss, if you read the history and watch the shows and all that, like trained her by some aspects, her brothers a little bit, Jim and Tito or whoever it is to take over eventually. But some people can and some people can't. It's like, Jason, it's like in music. We talk about this all the time off the air, but like, it's one thing when your first couple of albums, you've been sleeping in cars and addicted to God knows what, and you're going through hell and all that. You write this amazing music. Well, once you have $30 million in the bank, what kind of struggle are you going to write about? Well, what kind of training can you really have when you didn't go through the struggle to acquire the team in the first place like Dr. Buss did and build it and revolutionize it?
Yes.
It's at what point do you go, during this current ownership, there was an inherited Kobe Bryant.
Right.
Then there was a LeBron James that forced himself there. Anthony Davis, clutch, forced him there. We talked about it yesterday. They haven't had an all-star play for them that they drafted since Andrew Bynum. You got the bubble championship. God bless. But again, you put Anthony Davis. That was a weird situation, man. Overall, this team has been run horribly.
Well, in the entirety of the Buss family, the younger kids have got to think, if they've looked and they've been a part of this history. I mean, I would say, Dave, in the history of the game, the Lakers have had more of the highest profile coaches and the best players of all time than any team. I mean, they have landed Kareem, Magic, Kobe, Shaq, even that weird Malone and Peyton, AD, LeBron. Like that's an incredible resume. Phil Jackson, Pat Riley. I think there's still a belief because in a 50-year stretch, usually at some point they have got a generational coach or player on their roster.
Yes.
And right now they still have the player.
Yep.
Nearing the end. And I think the move for Hurley probably felt like something of a Phil Jackson. Okay, I know that's a stretch, but as college goes, and Pat Riley wasn't, the name he became until he really started coaching the Lakers. But now, like, their options are that to JJ Redick.
I think I swear, honestly, Jason, I'd love to know this. I think Jeannie Buss looks at JJ Redick and thinks Pat Riley. Player, decent player, super smart mind, good looks, well-spoken, great PR guy, listens to it's like she listened to his podcast with LeBron. Was like, oh my God, listen to the chemistry these two have. Now imagine that on the bench. We got to do this. And then everybody around her on the payroll was like, yeah, Jeannie, we got to do this. What an amazing idea.
I mean, if you look back at their track record of coaches, it's really bizarre. So I was looking at something yesterday where, like, Vogel won a championship, we know, and I think made it 2 years. You know who had the longest run here recently was Luke Walton.
That's
and
crazy.
He didn't make the playoffs.
Right. Didn't make the playoffs.
And you're going, wait, that coach gets a leash where here's the one that won you a championship.
Right.
That's gone.
No leash. And then Darvin Ham comes in, who is
conference finals.
Universally respected. Universally respected.
I don't get it.
And so, Jason, to your point, I got to think Vogel's still maybe in the last year of his deal.
Probably.
They're definitely paying Darvin Ham.
Sure.
You're going to short arm Dan Hurley when all this is public for money that you can write off in the margins?
Well, and the next one's going to be weird because, like, if the offer is less for Borrego, Redick, or Coach X that we don't know who it is yet, that's weird. And look, teams don't always get their first choice. This isn't unique to but I would know if I was second choice, third, fourth. Like, if it's not Borrego or Redick,
right,
you're definitely fourth choice or more.
And meanwhile, the Los Angeles Lakers, who are about to lose their tie with the Boston Celtics for most championships in the history of the NBA.
And that kills them.
Absolutely it does. They were just used as leverage by a college coach to go back to a sleepy UConn town and play college basketball. The Lakers were used as leverage.
Especially at a time, too, where college basketball might be in the most disarray it's been. It still has
People
its
are jumping
excitement,
ship,
still
man.
has March Madness, all that stuff. But it's a mess.
I mean, again, I'm torn. As a Kings fan, I'm like, suckers. That's game 6, pal. You're cursed. But then as a sports fan, as an NBA fan, I acknowledge that it's a tentpole team.
Yeah.
The league is better when the tentpole teams are doing things. And, we talk about Jeannie Buss as a Nepo baby. The Lakers are like the Nepo franchise. They really are. When you look at the history of that team, how many players were gifted to, Shaquille O'Neal, boom, trade with Orlando. He wanted to come to LA. Dwight Howard, same thing. LeBron James, same thing. Like, how you look at the way the Celtics are built up right now. They drafted Jason Tatum. They drafted Jaylen Brown. They traded for Jrue Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis. The Derek White deal was absolutely amazing. Like, they built it the old-fashioned way with Brad Stevens going. We don't talk about Brad Stevens going, what are you doing? You're going from this coach of the year to the GM. Like, you're still so young. Why would you do that? Because somehow, like Whit Grusbeck, the owner of the Celtics, he knows how to own a franchise. Right. He understands the dynamics. Jeannie Buss, she means well, and there's no firing her.
Right.
You can't fire Jeannie Buss.
Nope.
So Welcome to it, Laker fan. We'll take a break. When we come back, safe or out, Shohei Ohtani, Mike Trout, and a player poll. And said some. I
know I'm shamelessly pumping the poll here.
Some things about the Oakland A's. Yes, and it's by the way, the poll's on The Athletic as well. We'll be right back with safe or out, but first. Let's talk about my friends at Upsize Matters. UpsizeMatters.com. Look, what do you want to call it? Girth, circumference, whatever word we're going to apply. It's at or near the top of the list when you talk about insecurities. Some people do have. Yeah, I know it's a taboo subject. I know people make fun of the whole thing. Look, man, everybody has their own thing. And I'm not going to treat this any differently. I got a note from a longtime listener the other day. They're like, dude, how can you do this? How can you do commercials for a girth issue? Like, really? This is sports radio. I'm like, how can I do commercials for a car? How can I do commercials for a restaurant? How can I do? Because it's a product that some people want. And if here's the other side of it, you don't see. It's like when I did the laser lipo for Dr. Jack. By the way, same guy. You didn't see the letters I got or the notes I got or the one guy who came up at my kid's Little League game whose lives had been changed by doing this, who had horrible self-confidence, went in, got their thing done, no pun intended, the procedure done, and they were over the moon. That makes me feel amazing. So if you think for a second I'm going to have an issue where there's real guys out there that have a problem here, you're marking up the wrong tree, man. I am absolutely proud to endorse UpsizeMatters.com. I know Dr. Jack. I've known him for years. He's a good dude. Dr. Joel Pash, his partner in San Francisco. Both these guys, actual doctors, know what they're doing. It's a procedure you can get the same day as your consultation, which is free, by the way, and change your life for the better. If it doesn't apply to you, don't worry about it. UpsizeMatters.com. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you. We'll get to Safer Out next.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out SacktownSports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SacktownSports.com.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sacktown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Sacramento, Dirk Bentley is coming to town.
Hey, y'all, this is Dirk Bentley.
Saturday, September 28th at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo for Country in the Park 2. And he's bringing some friends.
This is Bonnie. Take my hand, let me make you mine.
Paige Dasha, hit your boots, stop working to Kelsey Hart, and more. Saturday, September 28th at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo. Get your tickets before they sell out at CITPFest.com. Brought to you by Hyatt Vacation Club and Xfinity.
Safe or out? It's time to go around baseball. 3 pitches, 3 swings. It's safe or out on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
All right, MC's talking vaccines on the chat. You can too. Go to YouTube, search Sacktown Sports, put the tinfoil on, and please do take 3 deep breaths before you take the plunge. But the chat is fantastic. Where's Zebra? Where is she this morning, by the way? I haven't seen her.
Sleeping in.
Fam and King's Fan and Beeman and Dennis and all the regular crew. If I forgot you, I apologize. All in there as well. And, yeah, you can text us as well, 916-339-1140.
Is that you or AI?
Alan Iverson, baby. Christopher Lott, question 1.
When it's all said and done, wrong one. Safer out. Shohei Ohtani is your NL MVP.
Did you do that on purpose?
I did.
Oh, you're such a I had, just so you know, because this is why Chris is actually a terrible person. I don't even want to roll over that. In the thing this morning, the Google Doc, now, again, we can all see it real time, and I wrote Safer Out in the 3 for Madness section. All of a sudden, my phone rings. I get a call from Christopher Lott. Oh, my God, what's going on? Is Chris in an accident? He never calls me this early. What's up? Did you mean to put Safer Out in 3 for Madness? No, I didn't. Thank you.
I got Mason to call you from me.
Yes. Yeah, I think he is. You know, it's just one of those mid-ish season check-ins, but he's just everything advertised. And then it's like, oh, by the way, they actually have an all-star caliber pitcher in there too. He just is hurt right now. And I'm again, not a doc. Hey, MC, not a doctor, but it is fascinating to me. Like, how can you be so injured that you can't pitch, but you can be an MVP in hitting? I get they're 100% not the same thing. And he's not throwing the ball, but you got to think everything's connected. Something's got to hurt at some point somewhere. It's amazing. He's amazing.
Not that smooth swing. It didn't hurt him.
No.
And they're just loaded, too, watching them over the weekend against the Yankees. I mean, their top 3 are all MVPs. Mookie to him to Freddie Freeman. And then Will Smith's batting fourth. And he's kind of just snuck into the lineup there, and he's crushing it, too. But, yeah, Shohei's been amazing. He's just a marvel.
Did you see the video of they had a showing of the new Bad Boys movie, and Will Smith was in there watching with everybody. They didn't realize it till after the movie.
The Will Smith?
Not the Dodgers Will Smith. And Will Smith just, walks out with everybody else. They just slowly realize they just watched the Bad Boys movie with Will Smith. And it made me think, A, that's kind of cool. B, remember he slapped Chris Rock. And then C, God, I don't know. If you were in a movie, would you want to sneak in and watch it with people to see their reactions? Or would it be way too weird and uncomfortable and you wouldn't want to see it with anyone?
You have to be confident in the movie.
Right?
Yeah. Would it have been weirder if he was in a disguise? So this way he's not hiding from it. He's like, okay, if you see me, you see me.
You see me.
But it's like, hey, I want to be here because I want to hear the reaction. I want to watch it like everyone else will in the audience,
Yeah. I would actually I'm not even really joking here. I would rather pay somebody to go with like a little webcam and just put it in the corner just so I could hear the reactions. Yeah. You know what? Honestly, by the way, not a comparison. I get it. When we did the Playing to Win movie, the RV movie, and we had like 3 showings that sold out. It was really cool down at IMAX. And I was at 2 of the 3. Honestly, most torturous thing ever because you don't know what the reactions are going to be. Right. And then you're on the screen crying or something, and you're looking at everybody. And honest to God, I spent 90% of both movies outside chain smoking. Like, so you have to have, I'm the least confident guy in the world when it comes to something like that. Will Smith slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars. Yeah. Obviously, there's a confidence there. So he went in there and was like, I'll watch. It's all good.
Is he back? For back means?
I don't think he is.
It feels like there's a weird feel over him still.
I saw somebody say the other day, like, hey, before I see a movie like this, like, I need Will Smith to really sit down and explain what happened. And then everyone was like, yeah, whatever, wussy. I'm going to see the movie 3 times. Like,
okay. Maybe some are back.
Some are back. Yeah. Number 2, please.
Safer out. The Giants should trade for Mike Trout.
I saw this bandied about yesterday.
Yeah, this is what Tim Kawakami. Mm-hmm. The problem is that, look, I love Mike Trout. I think it'd be awesome. Here's the thing: it feels like, remember the other day we were talking about gambling addiction and how if you're down at the table, the last thing you want to do is catch up in one hand. That's what it would feel like to me. And God bless Mike Trout, but he can't stay healthy. And the only thing worse than the Giants not trading or signing for anyone that is a huge tentpole name is doing that with somebody and then having them play 50 games a year.
Right.
Like, I do agree that the Giants should trade for a perennial all-star core player because they can't sign him. So you got to force him to show up. I don't know that Mike Trout's the guy. On the other hand, Jason, maybe they do, and maybe Mike Trout ends up being a Jeff Kent, Barry Bonds rebirth with the team.
Would this be the secret sauce, the guy that just can't make the playoffs with Shohei and Albert Pujols and Rendon and other pretty good lineup where the Giants lineup is, And would he be the guy that all of a sudden that's what turns the Giants around? I don't know. It seems like a bit of a stretch. Plus his health, he is literally still injured and out.
Yes.
So maybe you get him on the cheap. That would maybe be a reason to do it, or cheaper than expected. But man, that'd be a weird move.
That would be a weird move. And it kind of honestly, what is Mike Trout's value? He obviously has value.
Sure.
What is it, though?
That's not what it once was.
No. Number 3, please.
Safer out. The A's winning the player poll as a team with the worst reputation is accurate.
The obvious answer is safe. The problem is that I really hate Jerry Reinsdorf, and what he's doing to the Chicago White Sox is almost not talked about enough, but it is the A's, and it is safe, and we'll get into that player poll at 7:43. This is The Athletic asking multiple players to answer questions. One of them was, what team has the worst reputation for you? The A's won it in a landslide. One of the comments was something like, and I'll read it for you later, what are they doing? Moving to Sacramento? I've been to that ballpark. That's as good as they could do. And that's part of what really, I know I'm beating a dead horse here, but just even associating with this team and with this owner, I do think it's accurate, Jason. I feel bad for, we talk about the fans all the time in the organization. I also feel bad for, you didn't want your baseball career to be a part of that. You're some player on the team, just, okay, staying out of the fray.
Yeah, I mean, this is the easiest answer. Say, like, what would, I'd be curious what other teams came that close. Like, that's got to be on top of mind for every player. And players talk, too, even those that are on the A's. They're like, oh, man, what a mess. What a mess they have there.
They got quite the mess on their hands. What is it? What a fine mess you've said that. You know what I'm talking about, right? What a fine mess you've gotten us into. We'll take a break. Or maybe that was just many, many people in 1950s movies. When we come back, we got some NFL notes for you, including Mike Tomlin and also a retirement that I think we reported on 2 weeks ago, but it's somehow official now. We'll get to that next.
Keegan Murray plays here.
Keegan scores another three-pointer. Keegan Murray knocking it down for 23 points. Match De'Aaron Fox for game scoring honors.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Tuesday is going to start out quite mild, but get outside for the morning when it is comfortable. As we head through the afternoon, it's going to be a hotter day today. Plenty of sunshine with highs in the range of 100 to 104. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Coach Doug Christie here to remind you, if you're in the market for a new car, shop Folsom Lake Kia. Low interest rates, low payments, and zero down deals with approval of credit. Folsom Lake Kia, over 25 years, right here in Folsom.
Ooh, ma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very
calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
We see a lot of news about teens vaping, but teens see something else. Videos on social media that glamorize it and downplay the dangers of nicotine. How can parents talk so kids will listen? Use facts. 1. Nicotine can rewire teens' brains. 2. It can make teens more anxious. 3. Changes to the brain can be permanent. So even when it hides behind a new look, nicotine is brain poison. Go to undo.org for more.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopiers.com.
Hey sports fans, it's JaVale McGee here. Are you ready for the event of the summer? It's the Jug Life Charity Softball Game hosted at Sutter Health Park on Saturday, June 15th. Join me and all my celebrity friends for the #1 event of the summer as our incredible community comes together for a cause that counts. The Jug Life Charity Softball Game isn't just about softball. It's about giving back. All proceeds go to the water education programs and providing clean water to communities in need. Thanks to your support, our team with Jug Life is making a real difference, bringing hope and health to those who need it the most. Bring your family and friends for a day you won't forget. Cheer on your favorite stars as they hit it out the park for a great cause. Come celebrate Father's Day weekend at the Jug Life Charity Softball Game that's happening on Saturday, June 15th. Don't miss out. Get your tickets now at juglifewater.com. That's juglifewater.com. Join us, have fun, and make a difference. Jug Life. Drink water, give water, save water.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
No look, Bibby to Weber down the lane, flying jam. There's your play of the night right there. It's inside is Sabonis, a two-hand rip, a brilliant pass from De'Aaron Fox.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sacktown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show.
See the show Dexter?
No, I heard good things about it, though.
Very good. In a morbid,
yeah,
like literally a morbid way.
Did it come back again? Or
Yeah,
something?
yeah. It was like Dexter, the final countdown or whatever.
The last kill.
Last, right. But he always, like, when he does his kills, he creates like a room, like he plastics off everything, makes sure he can cover his tracks. And I feel like anytime I use this pizza oven, like that's part of what I kind of have to do in my kitchen. Like I left this morning, my wife we all like cleaned up sort of, but like today is like there's like flour on the floor, cheese in the corner. There's probably a sausage piece somewhere. Well, no, the dog would have gotten it. Dogs. But had my dad and sister and her husband over last night. We had a pizza night. Still can't get the dough. Just an update. Still can't get the dough thin enough. We try. I've gained so much more respect for people that work at pizza places that don't have one of them. Like when I worked at Pizza Hut, we had like you put the dough ball in a
Does anyone out pizza them?
No, nobody out pizzas the Hut, dude.
Okay.
Coming up 3 for Madness later. But you put the dough in like a little roller and then you shift it and roll, and eventually it gets towards a giant flat circle, and you kind of adjust it there and put it in the pan. But having to go from a dough ball to an actual circular flattish, no, it's really hard, man.
So both you and Chris worked at pizza places?
Yeah, I think you worked at more of like a family-owned boutique kind of place.
A breakfast pizza.
Yeah, I worked at
You're the pizza guys.
We are. I actually worked at one of the first Pizza Hut. They called them Delcos. It was a delivery only. No sit-in. It was right on the Fair Oaks Manzanita curve. I think there's an Alberto's there now.
Oh, okay.
And I remember,
yeah.
Dude, I remember honestly, it was one of my very first jobs. And my whole, like the first month I was there, I clock in, and it was the old school, like clock in. Yeah. And
watch your fingers.
Right. And the whole thing was I would come in, I'd have an 8-hour shift on the weekend when I wasn't in school, and I would have this stack 6 feet tall in the back of cardboard that you have to fold into pizza boxes.
That just gave me the shivers.
For 8 hours with a lunch break and a 10-minute break. Now, look, I get it. Everything's relative. I could be on a roof or, somewhere serving our country, a real job. But, God, dude, just
what I would give to do that again.
Maybe this summer we have a box off.
Yeah.
I don't like violence. But I don't even know if I remember, to be honest.
Oh, you remember.
It's like you fold the sides and then you pull it down. And
I think Chris would win that.
I think he probably, but I think he would, just because I didn't exactly, like, my whole thing was like, I don't want to go too fast. I don't want to have expectations.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want them saying like, oh.
Don't show competence in something you don't want to do.
Now, if they were smart, what they would have done, you got to gamify everything. So what you do is, instead of having just me there, you have me and somebody else, and then you have some sort of contest where, like, hey, the winner gets off a half hour early.
Yeah,
and then
first to 50.
Oh, and then you're just going at it with it.
Yeah.
I got you. And then you have somebody coming by and doing a count. Oh, Dave's up by 4. Yeah. Jimmy's got to come back. I don't know which I'd hate more, that or the old telemarketing gig, where you roll in, you're in this crap suit and tie or shirt and tie that
you still have to see that.
Still have to
documentary.
I do. You're right, because honestly, that was my life for a while, and you're just like,
I think that's even worse now. I mean, from either not answering to just saying no or worse,
As a former telemarketer when I was a teenager, I do know this. Like, cell phones have made things a lot different now, but I occasionally, I probably got like 2 a week, 3 a week, right? As soon, I'll pick it up because I don't, maybe it's a relative, I don't know, a relative that I don't have in my phone. But as soon as they go, hi, David, and I already know, like, okay, yeah. And then I just, who's this? Oh, hi, this is Sam with the car warranty people. Click. Best thing to do is just hang up. Like, just hang up right away. Just hang up, because you're not only A, are you out of it? It's the easiest thing to do, but B, you're saving them time too. Like, the worst thing as a telemarketer would be when somebody would listen to my whole spiel and then be like, nope, not interested, click. And I'm like, why didn't you just hang up on me? Because then I could go on to somebody else. Now, if you want to screw with them, that's fine. Mm-hmm. But most of these people are just good people, they're just trying to make a living. You don't have to listen to them. They're annoying. You don't have to listen to them.
Remember that time we were golfing in Phoenix, and I think you had one of those on for like 30 minutes.
That was different. That was somebody trying to pull a scam and say, what was that one? It was like, They were with a government agency, or they were with the police, and they needed a thing, and da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, there's a difference between somebody trying to sell you a sticker or, roofing or siding.
Yeah.
They're just trying to do their jobs. They're just trying to offer a service in a different format that may be annoying, but guess what? If it didn't work, they wouldn't do it. And then there's people that are actually actively trying to scam you. And those people are fun to screw with. Those people you want to keep on the phone as long as possible, if you have the time.
Yeah.
We had the time. We were playing golf.
Yeah.
So I had them on speakerphone. You remember that?
I do.
Teeing off. Mm-hmm. You guys like, I know what I'm doing. You'll rue the day. I'm like, okay, Kent. That's a real old reference. Mike Tomlin is re-upped with the Pittsburgh Steelers. His coaching career with the Pittsburgh Steelers is now officially an adult. It can vote. It can serve in the military. It can move out and get in an apartment. 18 years. And I got to think, we're talking what? Tomlin, Pop, Spoelstra? Hell, I don't even know who's the longest serving baseball manager.
Oh,
anymore.
wow. That's
I would actually have longest current. I love how we're Googling. I'm aware that Googling things on the air is bad radio, guys. I just want to get the answer. Longest current.
It might be Dave Roberts.
Serving. Oh, God, you might be right, actually. MLB. And if I was smart, I'd just say, hey, Chris, look that up, which I know he's doing. Oh, my God. You're not going to. I can give you so many guesses. I will tell you this. Let me check the date on this. Yeah. The longest tenured manager in baseball is 46 years old. He has been the manager of the Tampa Bay Rays since 2015. Kevin Cash.
Okay.
Kevin Cash of the Rays, who took over for Joe Madden. I don't know which is tripping me out more right now. That Kevin Cash, 46-year-old Kevin Cash of the Rays, is the longest tenured manager, or that it's been 9 years since Joe Madden left.
Wow.
9 years. Oh my God, that's
Dave Roberts has got to be close.
I got it. I think you're right, actually. I think you're absolutely right. By the way, you want to know who the longest tenured GM is? Yeah.
Cashman?
Brian Cashman.
So they have the last name Cash.
1998.
Or Cashman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Dave Roberts, number 2. Well done. I'm going to give you. Circle gets the square there.
Okay.
So yeah, so that doesn't. That's 9
Not even
years.
close, yeah.
And Greg Popovich has been there.
Oh yeah.
What?
Since 90.
I mean, who did he take over for? Del Harris
or Hill? Bob Hill.
Bob Hill. He is the longest tenured active coach in the NBA and all United States sports leagues, having coached the Spurs since '96. And technically, he joined the Spurs as an assistant in '88.
Wow,
that's 28 years, dude. So Tomlin's got 10 years on Mike Tomlin. And yeah, I got to think, Eric Spoelstra is second, April of 2008. Steve Kerr, third. You know the fourth highest tenured coaches in the NBA? After Kerr, the fourth longest tenured coach in the National Basketball Association is
hang on, let me think. Michael Malone.
That's well done, Jason. Michael Malone, June of 2015, with a 3-year lead on, what was then actually? This has got to be old then. Yeah, this is 2022, because it was then Mike Budenholzer who he had a 3-year lead on. Now he's got an even bigger 3-year lead, a longer lead, I should say. Darren Waller has also officially announced his retirement, in part to pursue his rap career. I know Darren Waller's getting dunked on a lot. Like, I don't know. It doesn't. I wish him well. He's had struggles.
Yeah.
I hope he's okay.
Yeah.
I hope.
I don't want him to go back to that place.
No, not at all. I hope that we all dunk on his rap, whatever, fine. But also, when you're recovering,
more of a ballad.
That was far more of a ballad. And when you're a recovering addict and you have something to throw yourself into, like the culture and world of football, and then you suddenly retire, you have a giant void in your life now. And if I'm Darren Waller's friend, family member, whatever, I'm on like DEFCON 1, high alert, all of that. Like, dude, you have to replace football then with something. And you know what? If it's a rap career, it doesn't harm anybody. I don't care if he stinks at it.
Right.
Then go for it, brother.
Right. To each his own.
To each his own. We'll take a break when we come back. Very quick break here, just a minute. 3 for Madness. We've got a Nikola Jokic question. We have a Victor Wembanyama question. And we have a Joel Embiid question. How do they all tie together? I don't know, Jason. We'll find out in just 1 minute. Sacktown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Febreze. So my home is also my office. And before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up and spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Some people just know safe drivers save more with Allstate. Just like they know that's the mating call of a blue-footed booby and not a green-footed booby. Yeah, some people know that. And they know if you're a safe driver, you can save up to 40% with Allstate. Ain't that something?
Based on the national average premium savings for Allstate customers with a clean driving record versus those without. Savings vary by state and based on how you buy. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
All right. Well, what do Lakers do now? Hopefully suck, but we'll talk about that in 14 minutes. The Athletics player poll had some things to say about the A's. We'll give you some of the other results as well. But in the meantime, it's 3 for Madness with Chris Rillard asking the questions. And here's question 1 for you.
When it is all said and done, Nikola Jokic will be a top blank center.
Wilt, Kareem, Russell, Shaq, Olajuwon Robinson. I'm not putting those ahead of him. Am I forgetting a center that belongs there? I'm sure I am. Sabonis, thank you. It's tough because it's going to depend on how you rank. How are you weighting championships? Because if that's the case, you're not touching Bill Russell. That for sure not touching Bill, and you're not touching. I don't think Bill, if you accept the fact that old stats matter, then I don't think Bill, Wilt, or Kareem are touchable. Like forever. You'd have to like start a whole like the modern era and cut it off at like 1980. Like for real. You're not touching Wilt's numbers, Kareem's numbers, Russell's 11. You're just not touching it. So let's just get the top. I mean, in my opinion, let's get the top 3 out of the way right now. That leaves Robinson, Shaq, Olajuwon, Jokic, unless I'm forgetting somebody else major. Is Nikola Jokic on those levels yet? Is Nikola Jokic better than, or has he caught up to, say, Hakeem, David Robinson?
Yeah, see, this is where, I mean, look, this is why it is, these conversations exist, sports debate, but literally if you took, I'm not going as far back as Kareem or Russell, but let's do, like, honestly, how would you compare Shaq versus Jokic? They're totally different players. Yeah. Yes, they play the same position, but they did this completely differently.
Yes.
And not one is better than the other in their style. I mean, like Shaq was as dominant, as physical. I mean, all he did was done. Okay, well, he could because you couldn't stop him. He's physically imposing.
That's right.
Whereas, like, if they actually was a time where they could play against one another, I think Shaq would do some real work on Jokic. Vice versa, I think Jokic would pass and move and get cut all around. Like, it's kind of, they play the same position and not that far removed from one another. I don't even know how you compare those two.
You're right.
It's a preference.
How the hell does Shaq guard Jokic? And Jokic, we know, couldn't guard Shaq.
Mm-hmm. But then, like you said, Olajuwon was like on all defensive teams and gifted offensively. He's a different player than Jokic.
What really makes it difficult to grade this, and will always make it difficult to compare, is one of the main things we don't know, Jason, is how would any of those aforementioned centers, how would they have functioned in an NBA environment where it was acceptable for centers to run the offense?
Mm-hmm.
Because that just wasn't
right.
It wasn't allowed.
Right.
You had a point guard that you ran the offense through. Nobody ever thought, not that they couldn't pass, but nobody ever thought of having Kareem at the top of the key while everyone's cutting around. I mean, these are all bastardizations in a sense of the Princeton offense, which really, to me, Coach Kirill, when it's all said and done, is going to get needs to get a lot of credit for honestly modernizing the NBA with Chris Webber and Vlade Divac and making and showing these teams. I mean, Steve Kerr said it before that a lot of their model was based on Coach Kirill's Princeton offense. Coachy was the first one to say, look, we'll put these bigs who can see over everybody at the top of the key. They just need to have good timing and be able to pass. And I'd rather have that than some 6'2" ding-dong point guard surrounded by trees trying to have court vision.
Yeah, I mean, how many threes do you think, like, if Kareem was working on, he would have been fine at that. But he did the skyhook and worked down low, and like it wasn't even thought of. Like, that's for other, and that one, they didn't really take that many threes.
Yeah.
But I'm sure if it was a part of present day, could he be shooting threes like Porzingis does, like Jokic does, like Sabonis does? Not a ton, but a few a game. I mean, it's a different game.
Does Kareem try to perfect a skyhook three? Still
probably could.
That is still, to me, Jason, that's a topic for another day. If I really had a lot of time to come up with most fascinating sports questions to this day, to me, somewhere near the top would be, where are the skyhooks?
Mm-hmm.
Why has nobody mimicked the most unstoppable offensive move in NBA history?
Like, if Wembanyama got it down,
right?
Who's blocking?
And I understand it's not that easy. Like, obviously,
no, but I mean, like,
everyone would
was
do it
in the lab, and like all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh,
I know, his normal shot's pretty unblockable to begin with.
True.
Wembanyama, you're right. But it's like, I'd love to ask. I'd love to have, this whole athletic player poll. You know what I want to ask? I want all the centers asked, why don't you do a skyhook? And I wonder how much of it is a cousin of why they don't do Rick Barry's underhand free throw. Is it just like nobody gets on Sports Center with a skyhook? Like, I don't know what the deal is there. Nobody wants to do underhanded free throws. Hell, Rick, all those years, Shaq should have tried underhanded free throws. A lot of people said that. Well, it's just weird to me. Number 2, please.
Question 2.
Oh, by the way, in the text, don't think I did. What about Moses Malone? What about Patrick Ewing? Thought about that too, and a few others. I honestly think Jokic just passed both those guys, and I'd put Moses ahead of Patrick Ewing. But I think at this point, Jokic is ahead. That's why I didn't include them. All right, number 2, Chris.
All 3 are 19, and all 3 are available with your next draft pick. Jokic, Wemby, Embiid. What order would you pick them?
So the idea here is that they're all at the start of their careers. The interesting part of it, one of the interesting aspects here when I wrote this, Jason, was we have an idea of what Jokic and Embiid's careers are going to look like. We don't know with Wembanyama. On one hand, Wembanyama looks like he's going to be a generational superstar, unicorn, unlike anything that's ever been seen in the NBA. However, Victor Wembanyama could snap his leg in half next year. He is incredibly tall and thin. He does not have the build of a Joel Embiid or a Nikola Jokic. And by the way, Embiid had different kind of injury issues. It's the only question I have with Wembanyama. If you told me that Wembanyama was going to be relatively healthy on par with, hell, even Joel Embiid's health, I think I would make Victor Wembanyama number 1. But in good conscience, I can't, not with Jokic's 3 MVPs, all should have had a 4th championship. I would go Jokic, Wembanyama, Embiid. Apologies to Embiid, but he's just not, he's not Jokic, and I think Wembanyama will eventually be better than him.
That's my order too. Okay. Jokic, the same thing. It's hard to erase what we've already seen Jokic do, and knowing, the stuff you're describing Wembanyama as is kind of Jokic. He's a unicorn. We've never seen anything quite like him at center. It may not have, I don't know why I say sizzle. Like, I think we all get caught up in potential, and I don't think we should forget that. But the reality of what we've seen in Jokic is once in a lifetime. So I would go Jokic, Wembanyama on the potential, then Embiid.
It's funny how you know what, you are right. Jokic is a unicorn. We still refer to him as a unicorn.
Right. Like LeBron is too.
Yes. Maybe it's because Jokic is like a big kind of dumpy unicorn that no one thinks is majestic.
Right.
Number 3, please.
Question 3.
Going into next season, is Victor Wembanyama the most untradeable player in the game?
I think he is. I think he's there now. I don't think, unless it was something beyond basketball, like, for example, I still believe that the Golden State Warriors would trade Steph Curry for Victor Wembanyama in a heartbeat. But if they didn't, it would only be because it's Steph, it's loyalty. It would be non-basketball reasons. So if we're taking non-basketball reasons off the table, what's the other one? Do the Bucks say no?
Right. I think Wembanyama gets you anybody.
I think he literally I think it's Giannis and Jokic are the only ones you have a conversation about. Like, does Denver trade Jokic for Wembanyama? And I think they do because of age. And oh, by the way, your salary cap number just dropped for the next 3+ years. Same thing with Giannis. And now Denver with Wembanyama, now, they'd have to restructure a lot of that offense, completely different guys. But now you're able to add in another star to what they've already got. Same thing with Milwaukee. And I actually think Giannis's and Wembanyama's games are far more similar than Jokic and Wembanyama's. I think Victor Wembanyama is the most untradeable player in the NBA. Him and De'Aaron Fox. Not trading him.
Luka's probably up there.
Oh, you know what? I didn't think about that. You're right, Jason.
Different player, but
Luka would have to be. Luka. God. Okay. Dallas comes back, wins the title this year. San Antonio calls up. I guess not Mark Cuban anymore. Whoever.
Right.
Hey, we'll trade you Wembanyama straight up.
Luka's what, 25, 26? So it's not like he's
25, 26. He's 25, 26, but he is making a ton of money.
Yeah. But established, what he is. We think we're going to see something spectacular from Victor. We've seen some really good stuff.
Yeah. Chris, also, though, isn't Luka going to get fat and old here really quick? Come on, right?
Going to.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Oh, did you see someone breaking down his defense?
Oh, where he was. Oh, was it the guy that kept being like, blow by? Yes. Luka's air quotes defense. That's not why he's there. We'll take a break when we come back. All right, what do the Lakers do now? What's next? And also a quick
what's
word.
next?
What's next? Quick word from Gonzalez Law right after this.
Domantas Sabonis plays here.
He finds Sabonis. Put the frosting on the cake. Put the cherry on the sundae. Sabonis with a two-hand flush makes it 114-106.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Hey there. Hi. Hey, you never know when you might be in the need of someone to represent you on your behalf. And if you are in that spot, you definitely want someone that you can trust, someone that you feel comfortable with, someone that's right here in our community. Well, how about someone that, like I said, works downtown in our community, cares about the community, cares about you, and is not just going to rush you through as one of their many clients like those lawyers that you see on TV. So who I'm referring to, I'm talking about the Gonzalez Law Offices right here in downtown Sacramento. And like I said, he will connect with you and help you in your area of need. Now, what might that area be? Well, maybe it's an expungement, a car accident, a wrongful termination case, whatever you feel you need the representation for. I suggest you contact saclegaldefense.com or call them at 916-304-9187. Again, that's the law offices of Jonathan Gonzalez at saclegaldefense.com or 916-304-9187.
Save on rows and rows of new Hondas during our giant summer sale at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Hurry in and save on our best selection of new Hondas. Each is priced to sell now. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on a giant selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline, Civics, and Accords with low finance and lease options. Get to Folsom Lake Honda or go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Sacramento, Dirk Bentley is coming to town.
Hey, y'all, this is Dirk Bentley.
Saturday, September 28th at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo for Country in the Park 2. And he's bringing some friends.
This is Bonnie. Take my hand, let me make you mine.
Hey, it's Dasha, Kelsey Hart, and more. Saturday, September 28th at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo. Get your tickets before they sell out at CITPfest.com. Brought to you by Hyatt Vacation Club and Xfinity.
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports.
Hey sports fans, it's JaVale McGee here. Are you ready for the event of the summer? It's the Jug Life Charity Softball Game hosted at Sutter Health Park on Saturday, June 15th. Join me and all my celebrity friends for the #1 event of the summer as our incredible community comes together for a cause that counts. The Jug Life Charity Softball Game isn't just about softball. It's about giving back. All proceeds go to the water education programs and providing clean water to communities in need. Thanks to your support, our team with Jug Life is making a real difference, bringing hope and health to those who need it the most. Bring your family and friends for a day you won't forget. Cheer on your favorite stars as they hit it out the park for a great cause. Come celebrate Father's Day weekend at the Jug Life Charity Softball Game that's happening on Saturday, June 15th. Don't miss out. Get your tickets now at juglifewater.com. That's juglifewater.com. Join us, have fun, and make a difference. Jug Life. Drink water, give water, save water.
Capital Casino has been serving the greater Sacramento area in the same convenient downtown location for over 20 years, with plenty of close-by, well-lit parking monitored by security staff and offering the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Best food, best service, and the best action. That's Capital Casino. For more information on tournaments and gaming, check out their website at capital-casino.com. And please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
Just to make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sacktown Sports.
All right, we got a lot to cover here. And then we'll get to the Lakers. That handful of seconds of silence was brought to you by Chris's bladder, I'm assuming. Jason, you did something I couldn't do. You knew what to do with the board. I'm not throwing Chris under the bus. He actually had something to do, and then the board did a thing and whatever, and you went in and saved the day. And
salute.
I wouldn't like if you weren't like if this was last week and you were gone, or the week before when you were gone.
Yeah.
Well, or last week.
Yeah. It was home.
Or the week before that. When you were gone.
Would have no idea what to do. Wow, he shade, right? And then my other question is this. So I think that break was supposed to be a little bit shorter. So did we just pull from this? Like, how long is our next break, Chris, is what I want to know.
I can make it to where it's supposed to be.
Oh, okay. And then we're leaving that next break alone, right?
Yes.
For motivations I won't share. And then lastly, I found this out this is the most breaking of news during the break. I peeked over Jason's shoulder, as I often do, and I saw that you were playing a phone game. And I like phone games. And so I'm always looking for what the thing is, because I'm trying to find a new game since Chris is just
killing you with that.
it's just pissing me off.
We're not playing against each other.
I understand that, but still,
today.
you're on like I'm getting ready.
I will say you're the one that introduced me to the game.
I did,
and then I just completely.
It's the same thing. But this is a life pattern. It's the same thing with soccer. I introduced you to soccer. Now he's like the world's biggest Man City fan, and I'm just like, soccer's great. Now Royal Match. He's on level like 5,000. I'm getting ready to restart the game again for the third time at level 1,300 because it just pisses. I'm just like,
how?
What do you mean? How do you restart it, or how?
No, I mean,
or why? How or why? Like, why am I wanting to restart?
Just keep
don't
going.
feel like it's that hard of a game.
No, I just as soon as I start running out of my money and my power ups, I'm like, it's no fun without the Super Bowl.
The power ups you definitely need.
Yeah, 100%. So, but the problem is I don't know when to use the power ups because it doesn't let you use them mid game. You have to decide before you see the board, Jason, whether or not you use your power ups.
Yeah.
And then you, on the ones where it says it's hard, you use all the power ups. It might be like you have this tiny little box and all the power ups go in the little thing, and now you just got to waste them all and they don't do anything.
And with a setup, sometimes it's better to not have the power ups than it is to have the power
He's
ups.
100% correct, and you have no way of knowing. Anyways, I find out during the break you're playing dominoes.
Yeah.
Domino.
Against Chris.
Yeah. To which I instantly, my first thought immediately, why did they ask me to play?
We did.
What do you mean you did?
When you were looking for a new game.
You said you asked me to play dominoes with you guys?
Actually, I don't know. Yeah.
Well, hold on. Where were you going? You said actually, I don't know
what games do you play on your phone?
Yeah.
And we're like, well, me and Jason play dominoes.
You know what? I think you might have said that, and I think I took that as you both play dominoes, not together. Now I feel like it's like you guys are over in the cool corner of the show playing dominoes, drinking, your beers, having fun, slamming dominoes on the virtual table, and I'm over here struggling with Royal Match and AI by myself.
I don't know if you'd like to play against me though.
No, I probably would. I like playing against.
What does that mean?
Because you win, and then I get angry. I know exactly.
People get frustrated with how I win.
Yeah. Chris is the guy in Street Fighter 2 who would do the block thing in the corner and just keep throwing.
Yeah, I would make you pick up all of the dominoes.
Yeah, exactly. I don't like playing against people I know. I actually don't like competing against anyone because I don't like to lose, and then I get angry. Much like the Lakers, though. They were competing.
Should be angry.
They were. They played coaches with friends with UConn, and they came up short. The Los Angeles Lakers have stooped so low that they are now being used as leverage for a college team in Connecticut. Now, granted, it's UConn. They're legendary. Men's and women's basketball. Probably the best modern combined basketball program in the country.
Oh, yeah.
Apologies to UCLA back in the day. Although, do UCLA women ever do much?
Not to the level of the men, that's for sure.
So it is a legendary college basketball program. It's not like it's, Stony Brook or, whatever, Florida State. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So what do you do if you're the Lakers? How's that call go with? I was watching, a clip the other day of the late, great Bob Hoskins on Conan O'Brien. Bob Hoskins, if you don't remember him, played the cop in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. He was the main character. And weirdly, he's incredibly British, but does a great American accent.
He was also Mario in Super Mario Brothers.
Even better. Well, you might remember the movie The Untouchables.
Mm-hmm.
And originally, the director, was it Brian De Palma, I think? He wanted Robert De Niro to play the role of Al Capone, which he eventually did, but De Niro wasn't committing. So he asked Bob Hoskins to read the script, and then they were both in wherever at the time, meet him at the bar later. So they met at the bar. Hoskins said, I love the script, love the part. And De Palma said, okay, cool. I'm trying to get De Niro. If I can't get De Niro, I'm coming to you. And Hoskins was like, great, De Niro. Cool, I have a chance. Great. Thanks for the time. You just kind of left like whatever. Anyways, So Hoskins says he's back home. A few months later, he reads in the paper that they've begun shooting and that Robert De Niro has accepted the role as Al Capone in Brian De Palma's The Untouchables. And he kind of turns to his wife and he goes, well, that was that was a drink. Said about a month later, he gets a letter in the mail from the director he met with. And he opens it up. It's a check for $200,000. And it says, hey, Bob, thanks for your time. As like a show of respect, Bob calls him and says, Brian, if there's ever any other movies you don't want me to be in, let me know. I thought about that this morning because I wonder if going after Dan Hurley and failing is going to end up costing the Los Angeles Lakers more money. Or do Redick and or James Borrego, if that's who it is, do they have any leverage at all here? Like, what is Redick going to hold up? Maybe Redick does, I guess. I don't know if he's a hot commodity, but you're talking about a coach with no coaching experience, just a player. And then you're talking about a guy, James Borrego, who's the exact opposite, who's been on the merry-go-round, who's worked his tail off, who's really paid his dues. And you have the Lakers job.
Yeah. Well, put yourself in that spot. Like we always try to do this is our own shoes. If we could be in this position, Lakers call you today. They want you to be the coach and you know it.
Yep.
But they say, look, Dave, you're new at this.
Yeah.
This is what, yes, I know you know the public figure. We want to go lower than that.
Mm-hmm.
You going, well, look, this is one of 30.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want the job. I probably feel like I'm being undercut here, even though you're going to get paid very, very well.
Sure.
But I mean, I think he would have been the 5th highest paid coach in the NBA. So I mean, he's ahead of Mike Brown. He would have been ahead of Mike Brown, ahead of some Rick Carlisle, some established coaches. But you good with that? You're going to take, I don't know, the 18th highest salary. What I have no idea what number it would be.
Here's my feeling. I think if I'm James Borrego, I'd jump at it.
Yeah, he's coached Charlotte so far in his life.
I think if I'm JJ Redick, maybe I don't. I think JJ Redick has a better chance of turning that down than Borrego. I think Borrego's like, yeah, it's one of 30, dude. And we didn't exactly go gangbusters in Charlotte, and I'm getting a chance at the Laker job.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I think JJ Redick I would say 60% of me thinks he'll still take it. But whereas I think James Borrego would 100% take it, I think I'd put a 40% chance Redick wouldn't. Because
why? Yeah, what's his reservation?
Because I think Redick has never lost an NBA game as a head coach. There's that mystery of the draft pick of he could be this. What's behind door number 3? And on top of that, he has the visibility of being on the number 1 team broadcast, and that is like a walking coaching advertisement.
It is, and I mean, whether he feels it or not, there's also look. It was very public that he was going to be the coach, apparently. Then it was very public that it was Hurley, all while you're on a national broadcast talking at the biggest stage of the finals, not really addressing it, but like,
right.
Hey, they didn't pick you.
Uh-huh.
You have to kind of wear that.
You do, and I think if you wear it, just depends on how it works. I think Redick's played it pretty decent so far by not getting down in the nitty-gritty. And what it tells me is that this is a calculated move by him, because I guarantee you every single producer, every single director at ESPN and ABC 100% have asked JJ Redick 1,000 times, dude, let's talk about this on the pregame. You know, Hurley's over here talking about it. Let's talk about you're in the running for the Lakers job. This is a big deal. We have an exclusive interview with you. JJ Redick has to have calculatedly said, guys, I'm not talking about this at all. So he's made that decision, not just to not talk about it there, but to not talk about it on his podcast.
Right.
Imagine the numbers that JJ Redick and LeBron James's podcast would do if they got on the air yesterday to talk about the situation. If there were clips floating around right now of JJ Redick and LeBron James talking about the Lakers head coaching spot, Dan Hurley turning it down, and what JJ is thinking right now, is he going to want more money? Is he going to want less? It's fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
Not going to happen. Hasn't happened. He's kept quiet. So I also think that if he were to turn down this job, he's kept quiet and handled it, air quotes, properly, and he continues being on that number 1 broadcast. He has also kind of created the illusion of value where, maybe this is why teams like him. there's something to this guy for the Lakers, and he turned them down for a bit. Wow.
Yeah.
And then maybe but
like Cleveland's open and Borrego's a candidate there.
Yeah, I think Borrego
Redick's not.
I think Borrego gets the job. If JJ takes the Lakers job, Borrego goes to Cleveland. If Borrego takes I'm actually surprised.
Is JJ a candidate anywhere else?
Not that I know of.
Yeah.
Not that I know of.
And is that a good or a bad thing?
Interestingly enough, I was reading Woj's old tweets. The last time he mentioned JJ Redick was last year when he interviewed for the Toronto Raptors job.
That is actually, that is interesting. And that is just, again, I think JJ Redick has been newsworthy over the last year. Woj hasn't tweeted about him. So what does that tell me? Odds are Woj and JJ Redick. Well, by the way, they're also media competitors. Are they?
No, they're the same.
No, they're colleagues, I guess. So there you go. Never mind. There's something. There's always something there.
Yeah.
They've probably shared a soundstage together a few times. How is Redick not one of Woj's sources, contacts?
Right.
It's always interesting how that happens. We'll take a break. When we come back, let's look at this athletic player poll. That's not a player poll that can sprint. I mean, the Athletic, their player poll, and what it says about the Oakland Athletics. So we'll talk about the Athletics as read in The Athletic, right? And we'll do that next.
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports.
Daisy was abandoned by her family and placed in foster care at 15 years old. Her life was full of uncertainty. She thought she'd never have a permanent place to call home.
Before I was adopted, I felt like I wasn't enough. I had this hole in my heart, and I never knew what I needed to patch that hole. But when my mom asked to adopt me, that hole was closed. It feels so normal now to say that I'm a part of this family. I am surrounded by love. I feel safe. And that hole inside of me is gone. I am whole. I'm finally enough just as I am.
The Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption is changing the lives of teenagers at risk of aging out of foster care. Like Daisy, every child deserves a permanent, loving home. You can help. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies, because when people don't have to worry about where their next meal is coming from, they can truly thrive, like Marta.
And now we'll hear from our class valedictorian, who with our hard work never ceases to amaze us. Please welcome Marta Moreno.
And Alex.
Hey, Alex, how did the interview go?
I did it! I got the job! I can't believe it!
I knew it. Let's meet up later to celebrate.
And Diego.
Mom! I got first place at the science fair with my volcano project.
That's amazing, sweetie. Congratulations. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished, and everyone deserves to live a full life. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow. feedingamerica.org/actnow. A public service announcement brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
The only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and local.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The Athletics player poll for baseball came out yesterday. Oh, it is one of my favorite things the Athletic does. Same in the NBA. We'll go over some of these here, and then we'll get to the A's in a second. Jason, I'll just play with you and Chris here. Hey, now. Who's the best player in baseball, according to Major League Baseball players?
I'm going to take a stab and say Shohei Ohtani.
I'm going to say baseball player said Mookie Betts.
Mookie Betts third, 8.8%. Ronald Acuna Jr. second, 26.5%, with 46% of the vote.
Aaron Judge?
Shohei Ohtani. Aaron Judge actually tied with Mookie Betts for third place.
They're wrong.
Idiots.
They're wrong.
They are wrong.
Here's an interesting one. baseball players were asked, who is the most overrated?
Oh, wait, were we right?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, Shohei Ohtani. Most overrated player in baseball. You want to take a guess?
Shohei Ohtani.
Shohei Ohtani. You know what? Honestly, I kind of thought that was going to
or Aaron Judge
be a part of that.
Aaron Judge is a good one.
Aaron Judge is actually a good one. As a Shohei Ohtani, neither received a vote.
Bryce Harper.
Bryce Harper actually won it. I think a couple years ago when they did this, he received 1 vote.
So is this considered a good player, or is it?
Well, the number 1 player considered the most overrated was Jazz Chisholm Jr. With a little over 20% of the vote. It was split.
If you're just going to make stuff up.
Apparently when talking to players that voted for, because that seems random, it's because he was on the cover of MLB The Show's video game last year. And I think a lot of players were like, why was he on the cover? Anthony Rendon was second at 10.2%, followed by Carlos Correa, Tim Anderson, and Jack Flaherty. Pete Alonso, Cody Bellinger, Alex Bregman, and Ellie De La Cruz.
Oh, watch it.
Yeah, you know. Putting aside their stats and going solely on vibes, who do you most want on your baseball team?
Ellie De La Cruz.
Ellie De La Cruz not in the top 15. The number 1 player has already been mentioned, and it's not that far of a stretch if you think about it. When you're talking about like attitude, vibes, great player.
Aaron Judge.
Aaron Judge is number 5. Shohei number 2. Mookie Betts number 1 by a landslide, followed by Shohei Ohtani, Ronald Acuna Jr., Bryce Harper, and Aaron Judge. When asked if the season was too long, Anthony Rendon said that on a podcast a few weeks ago. How many players agreed the season is too long, and what percentage disagreed that the season was too long?
60-40 too long.
65 too long.
Okay. Gentlemen, I would have said something like 70 to 75 would say too long. Of course they're going to say too long. You want to shorten the season. It's easier on you. Nobody's saying anything about making less money, right? 69% disagree that the season is too long. Only 31% think that it's too long. That blew me away. Excuse me. Out of all the responses, that one blew me away. Only 1/3 of those polled agreed with Rendon. Some respondents offered 140 to 150. A few even suggested 120. However, the overwhelming view was that the schedule is fine as it is. Quote, I think it feels long, but I also think it's fair for everyone. It's part of the grind. It's part of what makes baseball so hard. And one anonymous baseball diehard player, the question didn't even compute. Is the season too long? Quote, it's not long enough. Another person said, yes, it's too long, but that's the easy way out. We get paid a lot of money.
Okay.
Yeah.
For them.
I actually, I kind of like that, though. Which team, guys, this was interesting. If contracts, state taxes, and rosters were not a factor, which team would you sign with?
The New York Yankees.
That would have been my number 1 choice. Number 5. I would have thought the Yankees would be number 1. Maybe it's because they make you shave.
The New York Mets?
The New York Mets are second to last.
Yeah.
I'm guessing A's is last.
Yeah. Well, A's doesn't even. Honestly, second to last of, I think, the 20 mentioned. A's didn't even get a vote.
The Dodgers?
The Los Angeles Dodgers are number 3. The New York Yankees are number 5.
Cubs?
The Chicago Cubs are number 6. Again, this is really interesting.
The Padres.
The San Diego Padres are 7th, and weather was cited along with the ballpark. One surprised me because I didn't expect it to be 1. Number 2 actually also kind of surprises me, and then number 4 kind of doesn't.
The Giants.
The San Francisco Giants are 17th.
Red Sox.
The Boston Red Sox are number 2, which surprised me a little bit. Fenway, one player said Fenway is like you're walking into a museum. They all talked about the history of the people love the Red Sox, and Boston is such a controversial city. Yeah, that I didn't think that would be number 1.
St. Louis?
Honestly, would have been my second guess behind the Yankees. Would have been St. Louis.
You've obviously never been there.
But you just hear about, St. Louis and St. Louis and St. Louis. Well, all of these people polled, apparently, Chris, to your point, have been there, as St. Louis got the same amount of votes as Oakland.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'd rather go to Oakland.
Yeah. Number 5, the New York Yankees. Number 4, the defending champion Texas Rangers. Reason most cited, the ballpark. Would have been Bochy.
Can I take a stab at one then?
Number 3, the Dodgers. Number 2, the Red Sox. And the number 1 team,
the Braves.
The Atlanta Braves.
Because they have the newest ballpark.
They have the newest ballpark. Also, Atlanta, I've been told this before, Atlanta and Toronto, the most underrated club cities for NBA players. I got to think some of that goes over to Major League Baseball. What organizations have the worst reputations amongst players? Multiple responses were allowed. The A's more than doubled the second place Chicago White Sox, followed by the Angels, the Rockies,
Pirates?
the Mets, the Pirates, the Marlins and Rays were tied. The Padres, the Yankees even got a couple votes. And then the Nationals and Kansas City Royals. The Giants did get a vote, as did Seattle. But when asked about the A's, what was said mostly, have you seen what they're doing to the city of Oakland and their fans? Somebody else said, it doesn't seem like they want to win at all. Another person said, I've heard Oakland is pretty rough. Sacramento for 3 years, I've been to that ballpark before. They can't find something better? So, yeah. Lastly, I know we got to go to break here. Players were asked and answered however they wanted on this one. What is the most annoying criticism coming from former players? Most popular annoying criticism. Celebrations. We're having too much fun. The bat flips. Pimping home runs. Overlooking the current game's degree of difficulty. And toughness. So.
Interesting.
Actually,
back in my day.
Yeah, right. Back in my day. We'll head to break. The only other one I saw in here where I was like, wow, really? Have analytics helped your career, hurt your career, or made no difference to your career? These are baseball players being asked. Anyone want to take a chance at which one won? Have analytics helped, hurt, or made no difference?
I think made no difference.
Made no difference. No difference. Second place. Helped, hurt, or made no difference, Chris? Analytics, players being asked if analytics helped you or hurt you or made no difference.
Helped.
76% of respondents said that analytics have helped their career. Just 10.8 said no difference at all. 8.6 said both. 3.2 said hurt. I honestly thought players would be a little bit more like, just hit the ball. They love analytics.
There you go.
Dorks. When we come back, Dan Hurley says no to the Lakers. What does that say about the current setup? How bad does this look? And yes, we will all laugh together. Not at Dan Hurley, really. That's the Lakers. We'll do all that right after this.
The only place you'll find Malik Monk is Sacktown Sports.
Oh, my, what an athletic move that time by Malik Monk.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Malik Monk, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker. I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Tuesday is going to start out quite mild, but get outside for the morning when it is comfortable. As we head through the afternoon, it's going to be a hotter day today. Plenty of sunshine with highs in the range of 100 to 104. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
It's been said an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And when it comes to a nice, cool summer, it's so true. Right now, get a complete air conditioner tune-up for just $59. Bonnie. Plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696-355.
At the Good Feet store, we take pain very seriously. Whether in the foot, knee, hip, or back, Good Feet makes over 300 styles, flexibilities, and sizes of pain-relieving arch supports. With 26 bones, 30 joints, and over 100 muscles, tendons, and ligaments in each foot, a lot can go painfully wrong. So there's a trained arch support specialist at each Good Feet store to give you a precision fit. Come in for a free fitting and test walk. No appointment necessary. Good Feet arch supports are HSA, FSA eligible.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
Whitey here reminding you that not all gas grills are created equal. Bring out all the delicious flavors in your grilled meats with the amazing Napoleon Prestige and Prestige Pro line of outdoor cookers. My Napoleon Stainless Steel Pro Series gas grill has turned me into a grilling pro with features other grills cannot match. They're built different, built better, built to last. Made with premium stainless steel that boasts quality and a lifetime warranty. I may never want to cook indoors again. Napoleon grills and accessories are now available at your nearby Amy's, Ace Hardware in Sacramento, and now El Dorado.
I remember as if it were yesterday. I reached down to move a nightstand and was astonished at the weight of the piece. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. At that moment, I instantly recognized the difference between Naturewood's quality furniture that will last a lifetime versus lesser quality furniture found elsewhere. Now, I suppose there's a huge difference in what you'd put in your first apartment and what you would live with in the comfort of your own home. Right now, Naturewood Home Furnishings Made in USA sale is a great time to fill your home with solid, superior quality furniture to reflect your own love for life. With brands like Sam Moore, Stanton, Stickley, Hilltop Hickory, Simply Amish, and many more, Naturewood Home Furnishings has tables, chairs, couches, and, yes, nightstands, and more at their Made in USA sale. Find furniture that will be with you forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
At Lowe's, save big every day when you buy in bulk. Save 10% on your choice of any 10 or more stock kitchen cabinets and countertops. Plus, save an extra 5% every day on eligible purchases when you use your Lowe's business credit card. Visit us for the materials you need. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location while supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details. 5% offer subject to credit approval. Exclusions and terms apply. See store at lowes.com/credit for details.
Seasons change. Why not your tech? Upgrade now during the Dell Technologies Summer Sale event and save on select PCs like the XPS 16 powered by Intel Core processors. You'll be able to bring your most intensive projects to life with built-in AI, minimalistic design, immersive visuals, and cinematic audio. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to exceptional tech and electronics plus free shipping on everything. Amazing prices await you for a limited time only at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your new home for 49ers football in the 916.
Sacktown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom,
with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason.
A really good rebounder. I padded his stats.
Yeah. You
I'm a pizza guy.
PADDED.
Yeah.
You didn't pat them.
Yeah.
Free pat. I'm just making sure. And maybe if you were somebody else, you'd get off the show. We were at a different time, and you'd go have maybe hit the local tavern and have a brew.
Yeah.
But not the case in Australia in 1974, where this reporter went into a local bar and sat next to a bunch of guys and really talked about the idea of a woman being in a bar with some dudes. Who would do that?
Well, that's met with no reaction. Do you object to me being served alongside you here, sir? Do you object to people like me walking in and having a drink here amongst you?
Well, it's not the objection, but I think for myself that the place for women is the saloon bar or the lounge.
Why? What's wrong with us? We're not doing you any harm in here.
Well, I mean, if I want to talk or swear or something like that, and there's a woman standing behind me, you can't, can you?
Why?
You just don't do it, or you can't, or don't. Put it that way.
All right, sir. I'm sorry. I took your place, I think, when I pushed in.
Yeah, but you're not getting me.
You don't mind me being here, do you?
I do.
Why?
Because you don't shout. You're only drinking water.
Well, I'm drinking water because I'm working, but I don't mind you drinking beer.
So why should you be next to me?
Well, you'd feel happier if there was a man next to you, would you?
Oh, I don't know. I don't mind you.
It's just women in general, is it?
Oh, I love them all. I can say F's and B's and C's in here where there's only men.
You think women are going to be shocked by your language? That's why you don't want them in here, is it?
Well, let me put it this way. We put a restraint on ourselves.
You're afraid of women.
Let up.
Well, you must be afraid of us hearing your language.
Yeah, that was
let up.
I'll just have a cup of coffee.
There it is.
No, I said coffee.
Beer.
Coffee.
Beer.
Those are some of the problems with the Australian bars.
I mean, that was 1974. And the reason most often given by the dudes is we don't want to swear in front of the women. Where's that gone?
Interesting fact about women in bars in America. They also were not allowed in bars, but since bars weren't allowed because of prohibition, they just let everybody in. And then when prohibition was appealed, they kind of just let it keep going.
Just let it keep. They grandmothered them in, I guess.
They did.
You know,
thank you, prohibition.
I think I've said this before, but if you've ever heard the term mind your P's and Q's, that's an old saying by a bartender who, when people would get rowdy with their mugs, mind your pints and quarts. And that's how it became a thing. And I think I've probably said that on this show like 35 times, but it's one of the few Cliff Clavens that Clavenisms I do know. Just kind of weird how society changes now.
Has it?
Yeah. I mean, like I remember when I was a kid, like I used to like my parents would every once in a while eat at the Peppermill on Sunrise, I think it was.
Okay.
Like they actually had a Peppermill restaurant. Look all like Nevada-y and casino-y and futuristic. And they used to have like this, my dad would go to this like, used to have like cigarette vending machine.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, like I have this memory. I was like 7 years old to see my dad get a pack of whatever the hell he smoked out of there. And it was like $3 for a pack of Cools.
Yeah.
And I was like, $3? That's like a house. That's so expensive.
4 hours of video games.
Right. What is that?
Yeah.
$3.
I remember I don't know when it changed in California. Do you know when this like no smoking in restaurants? 20 years ago or something?
Yeah, it had to be.
Maybe close to 30.
It feels well, okay,
but it was right around the time CBS and ABC switched.
That's your reference point to everything.
For everything.
So anyway, it was ahead of other states. And so I remember this very well traveling with Sac State football. One time we were in Montana and they, we're going to eat. They're like, hey, you want smoking or not? We're like, what? I mean, I'd been in that situation before, but it had been a few years. And then you're in a restaurant that's really tightly closed and you go, this whole thing smells like smoke.
Well, that's what I don't. Oh my God. It was, 29 years ago.
Okay. So this would have been probably 20 years ago, 25 years ago in Montana. And you're going, smoking or non? Oh gosh, non. But you're like, oh, now that you say it, I smell cigarettes in here.
I wonder if there's any states that still have that.
I don't think
and
so.
And if there is, it's got to be like Alabama or something.
I don't know.
What really blows me away, still to this day, I can't comprehend it, is that you used to be able to smoke on planes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, think about that for a second.
Yeah.
You used to be able to smoke on a plane. And it's like, okay, first off,
you were never of age to do that.
No, never. But I do remember when I was like 6, 7, I think we took like a TWA flight to Houston or something. And there was, I want to say, I think there was either a smoking section or it used to be a smoking section. Number one, not a good place for a fire. Let's just full stop.
Yeah.
Not a good place for a fire. So all the other stuff aside, not a good place to be lighting up flammables. That's number one. Number two, what is the point of a smoking and a non-smoking section on a tube that is enclosed?
Yeah.
Like the smoke's just going to magically stay in the back?
Oh, it does.
Now, as a smoker, don't get me wrong, there are times when I was smoking where I'd be like, oh my God, if I could smoke on a plane, it'd be amazing. Like I'd just
especially when you had your nerves.
Oh my God. I'd just be I'd be like Leslie or Lloyd Bridges in an airplane, like 5 cigarettes in my mouth at the same time. But it blew me away. I do have this faint memory of walking into a McDonald's and seeing little gold, like plastic disposable ashtrays with the M logo on them.
Yeah, I feel like, I remember that.
And now I'm thinking like smoking in a restaurant is just disgusting. Like, how was that ever allowed in the first place? Like, I also think it should be a felony to smoke in the car with your kids.
Well, yeah, I mean, in arenas, like so you're all at the a game and
totally, totally.
Not only are people working there smoking, like the crew, broadcasters,
100%.
but fans.
100%.
Yeah.
And I used to at the old Arco, like, remember, longtime smoker here, but I'm like psycho about smoking around non-smokers. Like, just because I'm going to ruin my life and get cancer doesn't mean, and we know about secondhand smoke, right? I used to go to, back at Arco, you remember they had that smoking section outside, and everybody during the break or the core, whatever, it'd just be packed. Like, halftime of a Kings game, it's just packed with smokers, right? And I always used to, the thing that used to just drive me nuts is you'd see people out there with like their 7-year-old kid, 6-year-old kid, just holding their hand, hanging out, smoking, talking to them. And like, you literally are walking through this giant cloud of smoke. And it's like, I get that you're addicted. I am too. What are you doing with your kid out here? It's like smoking in a car. You still occasionally will see somebody smoking in their car.
Oh, yeah.
And you look in the back and there's like a car seat and there's a kid in there. And I want to pull them. Look, not my business. I get it. But I 100%, I don't mind saying I judge them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you can't wait till you get home. When your kid is behind you in the car seat, your smoke, do you think the smoke just magically goes out the window? Like, what are we doing here? And I know everybody has their thing and all that, but it's like, bro, light up later, man. Yeah. Which is, well, Jason, to wrap it up, what Dan Hurley's probably going to do when this whole thing with UConn plays out, because now that's the second part of this. This kind of reminds me weirdly, it's by far not the same thing, but remember when the NBA turned down the move to Seattle, but then we had the whole thing about, okay, well, what about, but who's buying the team?
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, Dan Hurley's not going to the Lakers, but now what's this UConn extension going to look like? And by the way, who's going to LA?
Right.
Like, we know that I just saw the report during the break. We mentioned it earlier about James Borrego, but it sounds like it's James Borrego and Kenny Atkinson are the finalists for the Cavs job. They're traveling there today. Sounds like it's all eyes on JJ Redick at this point with the Lakers, which that case, Shams Charania is probably popping some champagne. But now we got to look back at Dan Hurley. Does Dan Hurley have leverage on UConn at all?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he just turned down the Lakers.
I know, but the loyalty, the fan base is going to pay the guy.
Just
got to pay the guy some more.
I wonder if he lost it. Lost any at all. Like,
well, I think maybe why he's talking yesterday, or the decision was he was thinking about it over the weekend. That's probably when a new deal was constructed.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I hope that deal was where he called UConn and was like, okay, guys, it's going to take this to keep me. Can we do that?
Yeah.
And
I also hope if the partnership is good, you hope UConn calls and says, look,
right.
I
Right.
appreciate we think highly of you. Good
Yes.
for you if you're really looking at the Lakers, but
Right.
how about this?
Yes. Yeah.
10-year, whatever he's got all the control of the school already.
Well, what's next for the Lakers, and why did this fall through? We'll finish out that, and then coming up later today, by the way, Kings draft prospect. We'll take a look at the one probably most connected, at least that I've seen in the mock drafts to the Sacramento Kings. We'll go streaking. Can Jason build on his all-time record streak with his guy not playing the day before yesterday? Yeah. So you've had a few days off. You're rested.
Yeah.
You're ready to go. What's next for LA next?
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
I lock up my Old Spice Fiji aluminum-free dry spray to keep that 24/7 lasting freshness safe for myself. Fresh coconuts, palm trees in the wind. It's like catching waves in Fiji. Actually, I just talked myself into a refreshing spritz of Fiji. My Old Spice is missing! No!
As a roofer, spring means the start of my busy season, which means I've got to get organized. With help from Beacon, I can save time with Beacon Pro Plus and 24/7 access to live pricing, delivery tracking, order history, and more. Plus, this spring, I can earn $1,000 and the chance to win a $25,000 backyard renovation just by buying my CertainTeed shingles online with Beacon. No purchase necessary. Now that's what I call a spring cleanup. Visit BECN.com for official rules and to start earning entries.
In the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and local.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Welcome back. Well, bad news, Niner fans. Bad news. The new Madden cover's been announced.
Okay, wait.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's one of two.
For the first time in 25 years, a 49er will be on the cover.
I don't think they're ready for Purdy. It's McCaffrey.
For the first time in over a decade, a running back will be featured. Christian McCaffrey is your new cover boy.
Is that still going, the Jinx?
Yes.
Every single thing that every fan does at home or at the stadium makes a direct impact in the game.
Well, let me put it this way. You know the last running back to appear on the cover was?
Oh,
Adrian Peterson.
Hall of Famer?
Yeah.
Okay.
According to EA Sports Senior Production Director Mike Mahar, he said that part of the reason why McCaffrey made the cover is he was by far the most popular running back in last year's iteration of the game. According to statistics, Chris and Jason, Christian McCaffrey, or players playing with Christian McCaffrey, scored how many touchdowns last year in Madden? Total.
Like all the people
all over the world in every single Madden game played.
10 million.
10 million.
I don't know.
No, I wouldn't either.
892,365.
Okay, so you read this, obviously.
Oh, no.
450 million
Oh,
touchdowns were scored with Christian McCaffrey last year in Madden.
Wow, they underpaid him.
Well, right. That's a record.
Is it weird that they have these statistics on how you play?
Yes, it is weird. It's incredibly weird.
So in that other game that you play in your phone, like they're looking in their headquarters, they're like, yeah, we got this one guy in Sacramento who's at level 5,000. This other guy in Sacramento that's rebooted 6 times. So they know you.
They know exactly. Yeah, exactly. Well, this Carmichael Dave guy seems to oftentimes reset his game with 2 minutes left when down over 7. Yeah, well, good for you. Good for you, Christian McCaffrey. Boy. All right.
I had a question for you on Dan Hurley.
I got an answer for you. Probably.
So I don't know how you would make your decision, but so what I'm kind of intrigued by on this is obviously he was interested in listening to the Lakers.
Yes.
He'll never say it because I think everything that's come out, like what Woj has said since, is like the quest for a three-peat, returning to UConn, likes what he's built there.
Yeah.
I don't know if he makes like, hey, pros of going to the Lakers, pros of staying in, or cons. What did he hear that didn't seal it? I mean, I think he had said before he would be willing to go pro.
Yeah.
Maybe it could be 100% a leverage power play, but I want to believe the reports that, hey, look, he was interested, he listened, and could have been the next Lakers head coach. What was it, or was it simply that he did want to return to UConn? But something didn't connect enough, and that's a pretty tough job to turn down.
I think there's a number of things that he would have factored in. I would say this, when you factor in cost of living, number one. Number two, when you look at, kick up my feet here if you don't mind.
What do you mean by, I know what you mean, but like the amount of money he's going to make, he can do whatever he wants.
Sure. But I'm saying just in general, his house, the way that college coaches are saying, like, for example, John Calipari in Kentucky. Like, that house was paid for by trustees. This massive mansion in Lexington. Like, everything's paid for. His cars, his houses. There's really not much he has to spend money on. It pretty much all goes in the bank. Everything's paid for. Same thing I would imagine Dan Hurley has in Connecticut. Most of these major college program coaches, they have run of the hill. He is living a life in a storybook town in Connecticut where he is banking almost all his money. He is a king amongst kings. He is familiar with the entire outfit. He obviously has a great relationship with his bosses, and he does nothing but win or come close to winning. He is the most respected program in college basketball right now. Or he could leave for Los Angeles for slightly more money, where none of his stuff is paid for. And all I'm saying is this, Jason, not that when I understand what you're saying, like, well, hey, when you're making $10 million a year, you're not really worried about cost of living. But when he's looking at, well, if part of the reason I'm leaving is money motivated, okay, so what am I going to make with the Lakers on paper? Maybe $3 million more a year? Because what did it end up being? What was the contract offer? Like a little under $11 million a year? Okay, he's probably going to get $8-9 million from UConn, is my guess. Okay, so you're leaving for $2-3 million more. But now you have to buy your house. You have to pay for that. You have to pay for everything else. Okay. Now all of a sudden you're in a year-round job. Not that UConn isn't. You're going from coaching these kids that have been away from home for the first time in their lives, that are young and wide-eyed, to coaching LeBron James, who is the most savvy superstar athlete you could argue alive right now, Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
Their agents, their agendas, their legacies. College kids, as you know better than I, you've been around there. College kids rely on Dan Hurley more than anything, just about, to bridge them from college and high school to their dream of playing in the NBA. He has the ultimate even with NIL.
The job is really different.
The job is
it's not, hey, you're coaching basketball. But the job is different.
100% different. You're dealing with a whole different type. You're dealing with, when something goes wrong in practice or in a game and you follow up, it doesn't matter which player it is on your team, and you're there berating that player or breaking him down in front of everybody, however he does it. You're not doing that to LeBron James or Anthony Davis. You're not doing that to D'Angelo Russell and all these guys that make more money. I guarantee you this. I don't care about NIL. None of those kids on UConn have ever made more money in a year than Dan Hurley.
Right.
Everybody damn near on the Lakers would be making more money than the coach, and his leverage factor, especially when those players also know that they're playing for a team whose ownership changes coaches as often as they change underwear.
Yeah.
You've just had Darvin Ham and Frank Vogel, who won a championship, and all that going on. It is a completely different job, and you're working for an organ. And this is honestly what I guess, Jason. He went out there, he met. Think about this. Everything was pointing towards him going to L.A. He goes out there and he meets with Jeannie Buss and Kurt Rambis and the whole hierarchy out there, and they make the offer. Number one, the offer was way too low. Number two, he met with them. I think the most simple, logical answer is he sat down and he met with them as a serious basketball mind who wants to do serious basketball things. And he sat down with Jeannie Buss and that clown show she has, and he went, oh, no. Nah, I would just venture to say, Jason, as much as we want to say, or I want to say, that he used the Lakers as leverage, and maybe he did a little bit as a sidebar. But like we talked about earlier, if he's going out there and meeting with the Holt family and R.C. Buford in San Antonio, and they're offering him a little more money, and it's San and flipping Antonio, not even L.A., he's going, these are serious people who have serious goals, and I love this culture. There's no Laker culture. The Laker culture is we used to be the Lakers. They're a joke. And Steve Ballmer's about to open up the Intuit Dome.
Yeah.
And I am here for Steve Ballmer and his endless pockets and his brand new awesome arena and his probably more successful team to completely take over LA, which probably will never truly happen. But the Lakers are always living on the past and on their reputation. There's no substance there. They're not a serious franchise.
Plus, he knows he's got a winning program. He is the program.
Yes.
So if he had the equivalent of Victor Wembanyama or LeBron James coming through UConn for a year or two, let's say, they're not the program. Like, they're a star for a couple of years.
That's right.
And then gone. It's still Hurley. And so he can win at UConn. I can't, barring a scandal or a controversy of some kind.
Yes.
He's likely never getting fired out of UConn based on what he's already done. I mean, he'd have to really have some awful years, which his track record suggests that he won't. Whereas in LA, he could win and get fired. And I also think the situation is, I mean, honestly, if I was running the Lakers, like, I think you still have to try one more time with this LeBron AD window here. But then what? Like, I would try, there's rumors trying to get Donovan Mitchell, Trae Young, DeJounte. I think that makes sense. Go for it. One more player to that group, those two, and take one more push at this. But at some point, LeBron's done. AD's getting closer to
right.
What's next? And if he was there to coach for a decade, which is it forever in the NBA nowadays, but he has to think that way.
Well, you know what? You bring up, we got a break here, but you actually bring up a really good sidebar here, Jason, which is, what if he went in there and he said, yeah, I'll take the job, but here's the thing. We're trading LeBron James and Anthony Davis. There's no ceiling here. I can't win a championship, but this team is currently constructed.
I might have one chance, maybe.
And we don't have the cap room. I have thoroughly analyzed your situation, and in my opinion, we do not have the cap room, nor do we have the ability to rob Pelinka. We don't have the assets to trade for enough talent to help LeBron and Anthony Davis, who didn't make the playoffs last year. Oh, wait, right? Did they make the playoffs or did they play in? Playing, they made the first round, right? Or no? Were they playing team or
they made the playoffs?
They did. Okay. Out in the first round. Anthony Davis and LeBron James had phenomenal years and played almost every game. They were healthy and they had phenomenal years, and they still were a first round exit. We have to trade them now while they have any value and rebuild. And I guarantee you, if he did that, Jeannie Buss was like, we can't, because star power and celebrity in LA is more important than wins and losses. And they are completely caught up in that. And he said, okay, well, I'm not going to come here just to shepherd LeBron James's last 2 or 3 years with Bronny while he does the LeBron James. I'm not here to do the LeBron James retirement tour. I'm here to win championships. Not, and I don't care if it's pretty or not. I care if the ring shines. And I just don't think that's the case. That's not the case there. We'll take a break. When we come back, the Pacific Division. Let's look at the coaches. Now that Mike Brown's locked up, where does he rank amongst these coaches in the Pacific Division? We'll do that next.
What's the missing piece for the 49ers?
Which names will they add during free agency? Whether it's in season or off season, the coverage never stops. Get the latest 49ers news on Sacktown Sports and sacktownsports.com.
For the ones who know safety isn't a catchphrase, it's a culture.
and the ones who help make sure everyone makes it home safe. For the safety-minded who watch everyone's backs, Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as safety assessments and training to keep your facilities safe and your people safer. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The news on vapes talks a lot about the technology and teen use, but parents need to know more about the dangers of nicotine. So know this. 1. Nicotine is a poison that can rewire teens' brains. 2. It can increase mood swings. 3. It can limit attention and learning. So even when it comes in new tech, nicotine is brain poison. Go to undo.org for more.
Get in on the action at Sky River Casino in Elk Grove. With over 80 table games, more than 2,100 slot machines, and a thrilling high-limit room, you'll enjoy a casino experience on a whole new level. Visit skyriver.com today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I remember as if it were yesterday. I reached down to move a nightstand and was astonished at the weight of the piece. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. At that moment, I instantly recognized the difference between Naturewood's quality furniture that will last a lifetime versus lesser quality furniture found elsewhere. Now, I suppose there's a huge difference in what you'd put in your first apartment and what you would live with in the comfort of your own home. Right now, Naturewood Home Furnishings Made in USA sale is a great time to fill your home with solid, superior quality furniture to reflect your own love for life. With brands like Sam Moore, Stanton, Stickley, Hilltop Hickory, Simply Amish, and many more, Naturewood Home Furnishings has tables, chairs, couches, and, yes, nightstands, and more at their Made in USA sale. Find furniture that will be with you forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Sacramento, Dierks Bentley is coming to town.
Hey y'all, this is Dierks Bentley.
Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park at Cal Expo for Country in the Park 2. And he's bringing some friends.
This is Farmer. Take my hand, let me make you mine.
Paige Dasha, Kelsey Hart, and more. Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park at Cal Expo. Get your tickets before they sell out at CITPfest.com. Brought to you by Hyatt Vacation Club and Xfinity.
My good friends, Dr. Jack Friedlander and Dr. Pash in Roseville and in San Francisco are offering not only confidence, not only security, but also the ability, if you ain't insecure, to go from the roster to the all-star team. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about UpsizeMatters.com. Time after time, vote after vote, circumference, or as we call it, girth, is consistently ranked as the most important attribute. And Dr. Jack and Dr. Pash can give you a free consultation. The procedure can be done on the same day as your consultation with immediate results. It's non-surgical. It's virtually pain-free, safe, effective, long-lasting, semi-permanent, and doctor-performed. For more information, go to UpsizeMatters.com. Go to UpsizeMatters.com. Make that change. Make the all-star team. Get you great.
Carmichael Dave.
He has very good sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say.
He's good at what he does.
On Sacktown Sports.
Welcome back. A little over an hour, celebrity birthdays. And our good friend, Styles Watkins, will join us from the 916. What's this rejoiner song? Is this Daft Punk? Sounds like Daft Punk.
It's Karate by Kennedy.
Oh, that was my second guess. Karate by Kennedy.
Banger.
Banger, Maine. All right, enough Lakers. How about the Pacific Division in general? Now that Mike Brown's locked in.
Oh, the division with the Lakers?
I know, right? Well, if we're looking at coaches
Oh, the coaches that are signed in the Pacific Division?
Yeah.
There's one without a championship as a head coach.
Mike Brown, right? Yeah.
And soon to be, I assume, Lakers head coach. Whoever that becomes. Because Kerr's got multiple, Lou's got one, and Coach Bud now has one. Or has one, not now.
Hard for me to not put Steve Kerr at the top of the list.
That's fine. I mean, track record, yeah. Winning percentage, yeah.
It's just tough for me not to. Here's my thing with Mike Brown. Is that too often what we do is well, how would you rank the coaches in the Pacific Division? What would be the parameters you would use to come to that decision? I would say the first, if not top two. Well, what's their record as a head coach?
Yeah.
That's pretty logical.
Sure. And honestly, I don't know the answer to that. Who has more wins between Coach Bud, Brown, or Ty Lue? I'm assuming, Brown and Budenholzer are about the same.
I would say, and I would say Lue is probably third. That's my guess. Just
tenure.
longevity. Wow. But then it's like, okay, are we looking at total wins? Or are we looking at wins per season?
Yeah, winning percentage.
The context is incredibly interesting here because, all right, Jason, I'm a head coach and you're a head coach. Let's go with who's the better head coach. You have a ring. I don't have a ring. Your winning percentage is 612 and mine is 566. You're obviously the better head coach and should be ranked ahead of me.
I think most people would say that.
I think
just on those parameters.
And then if we put those out as those parameters, we put that out and you had to pick A or B and people were being honest, I think you'd win. I mean, it'd be like in the mid 90s. But as so often is the case, you got to go deeper here. So, for example, but hold on. What if you took over a championship team when the coach retired and the three remaining All-Stars, two of which are in their prime, stayed? And I have spent much of my career coaching rebuilding teams and really trying to, like, for example, who's probably, I would say, like if I were to say who are the best coaches of the last 5 years in the Southwest Division, I'll bet you Greg Popovich on those parameters is dead last, but he sure as hell ain't the worst coach in that division. He's probably the best coach in that division and top 2, 3 in the entire league. Yeah. Most would say number 1 or number 2. So when I look at Mike Brown, I think to myself this simply, okay, who do I want to put first, Ty Lue or Mike Brown? I don't know, but would Ty Lue have come in here 2 years ago and had the Kings the number 3 seed and then a play-in team last year? Would he have had 48 and 47 wins consecutively? Would Mike Budenholzer? Would unnamed Lakers coach?
Right.
I feel like I'd have to acknowledge that maybe Steve Kerr would, but what gets lost with Mike Brown, and I'm not a Mike Brown apologist by any means, and I've been plenty hard on Mike Brown with his rotations frustrate me sometimes. Their lack of holding on to leads frustrates me. And I understand that Mike Brown isn't 0 nor 100% of the problem in any of those players. Everything factors in. I've had plenty of issues. I had plenty of issues with Mike Brown last year, but I go all the way back, Jason, I'm going to go all the way back. This memory involves you. I'm going to go back to an old pizza on a bench. Frankie coming in and stealing. You and I doing an interview. I can't even remember with who. And all of a sudden, we heard a guttural scream from behind us, behind the curtain behind us. And it was Mike Brown. And he was screaming back and forth with Rashawn Holmes. It was a call and response scream. I always remember that. And it was like an audible representation of Mike Brown announcing his presence at training camp, his rookie year with the Kings. And it's like from that point, that's always the start. That was the starting gun for me on what he and Monty McNair did to completely gut the culture of this team and change it. Mike Brown running wind sprints saying, turn it on the Jets and all that. Mike Brown and his post-game comments where he was holding people accountable or defending his people, taking technical fouls.
Got the laptop out.
Was it in Toronto where he got tossed and Jordy got his first win? Little things that are so vet of him that really, really changed the culture. And if I am Mike Brown's defense attorney, let's say, I could make I think a very compelling case in a court of law that not only is Mike Brown better than Ty Lue or Mike Budenholzer, but Mike Brown at this point is a better coach than Steve Kerr for the following reason. Remember, Mike Brown was the architect of that defense when he was with the Golden State Warriors. They haven't won a championship since Mike Brown left. Was Mike Brown the wind beneath Steve Kerr's wings, number one? Number two, he's had to deal with LeBron James. He's had to deal with Cleveland and the Lakers and obviously Golden State and Draymond Green. How has Draymond been since Mike Brown left? We have no idea what Mike Brown did behind the scenes. And if you want to talk about last year, I can absolutely prosecute him as having a worse year than the year before. But what if we're sitting here a year from now, Jason, having just come off a Kings long foray into the playoffs, in which they were one of the better defensive teams in the league and the talk of the town, and we're going back and we're reevaluating all of a sudden, not next season. We're reevaluating this season right now, and we're looking back on that, and we're saying, you know what, that middle season, that sophomore slump they were in. First off, they won what? One less game? Two less games?
Two less games.
But hearing Mike Brown talk now, again, this is my fantasy year at the end of next year, about how that season was so incredibly important for this one, because that was the year that we changed the defensive culture. And I knew it was going to, and this is him talking, I knew it was going to hurt the team in the short term. I knew there were some games we lost that we could have won had I just taken my hands off the reins and let them run. But I knew there was no way we were going to go anywhere beyond the first round of the playoffs until we understood what it took to play defense, which is why I established these parameters that paid off in year 3. It might be chestnut checkers with Mike Brown. I just can't make that determination yet because I haven't seen next year happen.
Yeah.
So,
and I think when you're looking at the coaches, I guess the question would be, would other teams and or the Kings trade Kerr for Brown or Lue for Brown, vice versa? These teams, where would Mike Brown sit amongst these other franchises? I think they would. I mean, the Warriors had him as an assistant. Yes. I think if Kerr ever had decided to step down and Brown was still on that staff, I could have seen him getting that job.
It's a good question you ask. Also, when you say, would the Kings do it?
Yeah.
That worries me because the Kings would do some really stupid things in the past. So I don't know. If you took a poll of all 30, of 20 general managers, would they do it as a consensus? I don't know that they'd trade Mike Brown for Tyronn Lue. I don't know that they'd trade him for Coach Bud. I would probably go Kerr. It'd be Kerr and then some sort of amalgamation of Brown and Holes Lue. You could put any one of them there. Because you're also with Ty Lue, you got to give him a ton of credit for dealing with all those egos and really keeping it relatively quiet there. And then, as you said, Mike Budenholzer is a recent championship. But, God, the way he left in Milwaukee, he obviously did something to turn them off because they wanted to get rid of him before that title, and they couldn't wait to get rid of him after that title. And they got rid of him for a guy that would have ended up coaching the All-Star team, but they got rid of him for Doc Rivers. Right. Which, let's just wrap the segment up by saying, and thank God we don't have Doc Rivers or Mark Jackson. Could have been that. That could have been us. That's what I say, at least. We'll take a break. When we come back, who's hot, who's not, and we'll go streaking right after this.
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus, view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel will help you start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks. Words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks, "How's your French going?" you can say,
Babbel facilite grandement l'apprentissage d'une nouvelle langue.
Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Grainger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
We all have some things from the past that we might regret, or better yet, might like to get rid of. I'm talking about that mistake you made years ago that still may be haunting you. How great would it be if that could be expunged and gone? Poof! Just like that. But where do you go for something like that? Try the Gonzalez Law Offices. Jonathan Gonzalez is right here in downtown Sacramento, and he's here for you. Maybe you need someone for wrongful termination. Again, the Gonzalez Law Offices. Go to saclegaldefense.com or call them at 916-304-9187.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity Mobile. Connect to the most reliable 5G network nationwide. Well, his arrival on the big league club was delayed because of a knee injury and surgery, but it was certainly worth the wait for Miguel Andujar. In his first 7 games with the A's, he batted .448 and has 12 RBIs during that time, the most for an A's player since 2007. In his 13 hits, the 6th most in A's history for a player in his first 7 games.
Want more speed? Well, Xfinity just increased their internet speeds, and they're faster than ever. It's time to get more out of your internet with faster speeds from Xfinity. Now through June 21st, get 150 megabit Xfinity internet for only $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract. That's double the speed for the same great price. Click, call, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and auto-pay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Equipment, taxes, and other charges extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Actual speeds vary.
What's hot and what's not. Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot. And what's not? It's not good.
Brought to you by American Energy Heating and Air, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company, and second opinion partner.
Who? Who's hot?
Aaron Judge.
Yeah, unless I pick him.
Judge currently has 24 home runs this season and will most likely get another before July. He'd be the 4th player in AL history to do so at least 3 times. He would join Babe Ruth, who did it 6 times, and Ken Griffey Jr. and Mark McGwire, who both did it 4 times.
What?
Way to go, Judgy.
Judgy! No, screw him.
What?
No, because you know what? I'm just in advance. I'm just letting you know I'm picking him today. Honestly, just because it's the opposite now, just to slow him down.
Oh.
Yeah,
can't work. He's hot. Too hot.
He'll end today.
And he got a day off yesterday.
Guaranteed 0 for 4 today, buddy boy.
All right.
Who's not?
Caitlin Clark.
Oh, what?
She was 3 of 8 from the field last night, 2 of 5 from 3 for only 10 points in the Fever's 89-72 loss to the Connecticut Suns.
Can't have that in Paris.
That's why she was left off the team.
Yep.
Yeah. Maybe maybe the whole thought is that she just is like, I'm done. I'm done with all this crap. I'm just going to.
She's retiring.
Yeah, she's retiring. Yes. Hey, I wonder, honestly, you know what? If I had one question I could get a truthful answer out of her, it would be, come on. Do you regret, why didn't you just take the $5 million? Just take the $5 million and go play for Ice Cube for a year. You don't deal with this crap.
You don't think she's getting $5 million from endorsements and everything?
I think she still would. I think then she'd have $10 million and she wouldn't have to deal with all this crap. Do you see?
Maybe money isn't everything.
No, it is. We all know that. Everyone knows that, Chris. Did you see who was it she ran into yesterday and on the floor, and then she was like making fun like she was flopping. She was like whiplash.
Jason Ross?
No, it was.
Oh, that's Jason's move.
A flop?
Huh?
Oh, did you just call Jason a flopper?
No, Jason calls out the flopper.
Yeah. The fakers.
The LA fakers.
Yep.
All right, let's we got a 13-game streak. We got a 6-game
Whoa.
streak.
Yeah, no, we're not paying enough attention to Chris.
And we got a 0-game streak. Although I do have a streak of not getting hits.
True.
Let's go streaking, please.
It's time to go streaking.
We're going streaking!
Who is the Nostradamus of MLB?
Lowest career field goal percentage in the NBA Finals since 1980. Fifth worst, Sam Perkins.
Ooh, Sleepy Sam.
39%. Fourth worst, Kevin Love. 38.6%. Third worst, J.R. Smith. 37.7%. Good job, LeBron. Second worst, Patrick Ewing.
Really?
36.3%.
He's in the finals?
They're in the finals. Lowest field goal percentage. Yep.
That was the OJ finals.
Let's see. Actually, interestingly enough, 13th worst all-time finals percentage. Since 1980, 13th worst, Kobe Bryant, 41.2%. Wow. I would not have guessed that. Just ahead of Draymond Green.
Yeah.
The worst field goal percentage in the NBA Finals since 1980. Jason Tatum. 35.4%.
Gross.
Gross. That's right.
It's because he spells his name wrong.
Jayson. I agree. Famous Jay Weissens.
Him.
Okay, I'm not trying to be a wise guy here. Was Jay Wyson Williams, was he the guy with the shotgun or the guy that played for Duke and got in the motorcycle crash? I always mix it up. The number 2 pick.
I believe it was the one with the gun.
Okay. He's not on our list of Mount Jay Wyson.
Jason Worth.
Oh, the beard for the Phillies? The beard guy?
Worthless.
Yeah. Right? More like Jason Worthless. Did you just look up famous Jasons?
I just put Jason. And the first one that comes up is Tatum, and the second one is Worth.
As Worth?
I think you named all 3.
I think that's... It's giving me all Jasons that are spelled normally. Apparently, the most famous person named Jason is Jason Blair. I don't even know who that is.
Jason Robbie.
Who the hell is that?
He's a YouTube star.
It says here Jason Stark. Who the hell is Jason Stark? Is that a writer?
Jason Love. He's a Twitch star.
I think we're done with Jasons.
Wow.
Jason Stark.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who is Jason Stark?
He's like from used to be on ESPN, or I think he still is.
Oh, did he?
Writer?
Was he? Yeah.
Jason Nix.
What, the basketball team?
Baseball.
Jason Seaver. Growing pains.
Did he spell it with a Y? That'd be great.
No.
Show me that smile again.
See?
Show me that smile.
The gap in points between Scotty Scheffler and world number 3 Rory McIlroy is the same as the gap between Rory McIlroy and Anthony Quayle, the number 613 golfer in the world. He's really, really, every day we have a Scotty Scheffler stat. He's really, really good. Also, not as exciting as Tiger Woods.
Nope.
I don't know. It's been pretty exciting.
I mean, I just, yeah. By the way, Tiger will be teeing off at, I think these are Pacific. Are they? Maybe they're Pacific. If they're, well, 7:29 a.m. sometime. So it's either 5:29 our time. Wait,
no,
4:29.
Yeah,
unless it's in the central thingy, then
maybe it's in England. Then it could be 11:29.
No, it's the U.S. Open.
Oh,
coming to you live from England.
I mean, we play baseball over there.
True. We're confused.
The British Open's at Pebble Beach this year. Tiger teeing off with Will Zalatoris, who has like the funniest name in golf to me, by the way. Let's see. Justin Thomas, Colin Morikawa, and they're at 740. I'm trying to find. I'm just kind of pausing here. Ooh, John Rahm, Jordan Spieth, and Hideki Matsuyama at 136. That's got to be Pacific, because you wouldn't tee off at 436, right?
No.
John
Unless
Rahm,
you get the twilight rate.
that's a great point. You get the cart,
Yeah.
and that.
Do they have to pay to play? They pay in many ways.
They gotta pay. Do they have to pay greens fees?
Yeah.
I mean, somebody's got to clean up the course,
right? Water it.
I've never been to a U.S. Open. Have you?
Mm-hmm.
You have? Where?
At
I didn't
the
expect that.
Olympic Club.
Oh, San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was that's coming up, I think, in 2028 again.
I think it's coming around soon.
By the way, everybody,
I paid my taxes.
Everybody on the chat. It's JAYSO. They're all like Seahorn, Kid,
Jason Ross.
JAYSON, Jasons.
Yeah.
It's Mount J. That's why I say Mount J. Wyson Moore, not Mount Jason Moore. Because obviously number 1 is and the Argonauts.
Really? Bourne.
Yeah, Jason Bourne. You got a good point there. You do have a good point there.
And the Argonauts would be up. No.
Jason and the Argonauts. Classic movie of the 80s. Super,
That's a movie.
Super good. Jason and the Argonauts. Super good special effects.
I'm sure the special effects are money.
It's like Tron.
Okay.
Dune.
What thing do you have to say about Tron?
Is it compared to their computer?
No,
you
Tron
gave
is
him a
like
look like you want to fight.
Because Tron's special effects were way ahead of their time, Jeff Bridges
and
style.
not good.
And not good. No. Dude, like, honestly, I know we got a break. I don't care. Look at that.
Oh,
Chris.
yeah, that's legit.
That's a legit.
What is that thing? Is that Jason?
Yeah, that's an Argonaut, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. But like,
I see him.
Is that a real
Argonauts?
Is that a movie or is that a movie or a real picture? I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough to tell.
Did that really happen? I don't know.
I think it's a real picture. I don't think it's a movie. It's not
I don't think it's a movie either. He's got a 6-pack.
He does.
Look at that, Jason of the Argonauts. Rivaled only by Clash of the Titans. And that. Well, the original, you didn't like it?
No.
We'll take a break. That was the first butt I ever saw was Clash of the Titans. It was. when the Andromeda girl gets out of the bathtub. When I was little, I got to watch them. They didn't expect a butt in Clash of the Titans. I guarantee you somebody's listening right now in our age group that's like, that was my first butt too. Don't you have those? Remember the movie Lady in Red?
No.
That was my first something else.
Non-butt?
I was not a front butt. When we come back, the Kings and their draft picks. We'll focus on Keyshawn George next.
Can Mike Brown build on last season's Coach of the Year award? Can the Kings exceed 48 wins?
We will be better prepared to make the run that we expect to run come next playoff.
Tune into every Kings game this season on Sacktown Sports and sacktownsports.com.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Capital Casino has been serving the greater Sacramento area in the same convenient downtown location for over 20 years, with plenty of close-by, well-lit parking monitored by security staff and offering the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Best food, best service, and the best action. That's Capital Casino. For more information on tournaments and gaming, check out their website at capital-casino.com. And please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
At the Good Feet store, we take pain very seriously. Whether in the foot, knee, hip, or back, Good Feet makes over 300 styles, flexibilities, and sizes of pain-relieving arch supports. With 26 bones, 30 joints, and over 100 muscles, tendons, and ligaments in each foot, a lot can go painfully wrong. So there's a trained arch support specialist at each Good Feet store to give you a precision fit. Come in for a free fitting and test walk. No appointment necessary. Good Feet arch supports are HSA, FSA eligible.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Vacaville. Online at goodfeet.com.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339.
Hour. Oh, we gotta do this giveaway again, don't we?
I would believe so.
What?
Every day,
right?
Every day.
Well, I gotta tell you, I am proud to present at 1-800-920-1140. Rob Schneider returns to Sacramento for a night of nonstop laughs, and of course, Sacktown Sports wants you in the building. Hit up the Folsom Lake Honda hotline right now, looking for caller number 1 to score that pair of tickets to check out Rob Schneider at Hard Rock Live on October 4th, courtesy of Live Nation. For more information, visit sacktownsports.com. We're looking for caller number 1, Folsom Lake Honda hotline.
Was that you or AI?
Right? Can't tell.
Yeah.
See? Keeping the bit going since 6 a.m. Non-stop laughs. Like, I don't know that I would want non-stop laughs. I feel like
you need a little break.
For a while, it would be great. And then after about 30 seconds, I'd start to get really worried.
30 seconds?
What is that too long?
Too short.
It's too short.
Oh, so you're saying
you can't laugh for longer than 30 seconds?
Non-stop? Non-stop.
I've
Like
definitely gone over 30 seconds.
non-stop? I mean, I've like laughed and then giggled and then maybe laughed some more, but 30 seconds is a long time.
Is there a comedian that you remember that made you laugh the most?
Well, Eddie Murphy's Delirious and Raw were the classics for me. I'm trying
When
to
was the last time you watched that?
You know, funny, I actually watched Delirious about 2 years ago.
And I don't know if I saw it too, and maybe it's a little longer, but I can't remember if it was more nostalgia because I'm like, was this good? Like, I mean, I really enjoyed it back then.
A lot of it doesn't stand up.
Yeah.
The funniest stand-up I have seen in the last 20 years, I think, probably, was, and I know this is a taboo, but I'm just being honest, man. This is, I think, before everything went down, was Louis C.K.'s 2000. It's actually called 2017. It's on Netflix. It's about the funniest thing I've seen in the last 20 years. And I was crying laughing.
Yeah.
It got me. You?
I don't know of one like consistently all the way through, but he's very funny. I mean, he really is.
He is. It's just the humor.
Yeah.
Like I get it. Like it's.
And sometimes it may not even be like just some people, it just hits you right. You
Right.
know, like there's completely different styles of comedians. I know you went and saw a guy that I'm a fan of recently. You thought he was okay. Was Nate Bargatze.
Yeah, I thought Nate Bargatze.
But I've watched him before, and I've laughed a lot at some of the stuff he's had. And other time, you know, but like Dave Chappelle sometimes I think is like incredible, and then other times like
I think that's the thing is that it's really difficult to have a comedy show or anything where you're like everything hits.
Mm-hmm.
Like even in Delirious or Raw, there were ones that I was like, okay, let's.
And part of it is like if you get started, you're just in a then
you're ready to go.
I'm just laughing at just about anything.
I would say Chappelle probably has lately. He has. I would say like Half-Baked era through. I would say Chappelle to me is definitely my favorite comedian as far as stand-up goes. Like he's made me consistently laugh.
Yeah.
More than anything. Chris Rock, I used to be really into Chris Rock, but then I don't know how to say this. I feel like Chris Rock's delivery has become more funny than his material.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense or not.
That's part of the act, right?
Yes.
Is the style, the presentation, the delivery.
And whereas George Carlin's one of my favorite comedians of all time, and yes, I laughed at him quite a bit, but also George was more of like a cerebral comedian. Like you'd be like, wow, I can't believe he just went there with that. And it all makes complete sense.
Yeah.
Many times through the years, you probably could have sold out amphitheaters doing a comedy show of who the Kings are going to pick in the draft.
Yes.
Everybody would be laughing except for Sacramento Kings fans.
Good thing they're better at it lately.
They are better at it lately. Once again, I think it's mandatory to throw in that I personally do not think they're going to use their pick unless there's just not a deal out there for them.
What if it's the pick and Sasha? What does that get you? Much? Anything?
I mean, the problem is you're limited by salary.
Yeah.
Are you getting much for $8 million or $6 million or whatever? But if it's the pick now, all of a sudden, if it's the pick Sasha and Harrison Barnes,
right?
Now you're looking in the mid-20s.
Sure.
And now we got a
different player.
Now we're talking Ben Simmons.
You still there?
No, we're not.
Okay. Are you done? You're done with Ben Simmons?
No, I'm not. Look, is
this a crowning achievement day?
No.
This needs more attention.
Here's what I hope. Ben Simmons, I believe, is in a contract year this coming year. So my hope is this. I don't see how they could get him without giving up somebody really good. But here's what I hope. I hope Ben Simmons
is a distressed asset.
He is a distressed asset. Ben Simmons is the distressed asset. What do I want? I want Ben Simmons to play out his contract, doing whatever, and then the Kings sign him to a relative
minimum.
I don't know if they get him for that, but MLE.
He's not getting a big deal, is he?
No, I don't think he's
barring he has an amazing season.
I think he's getting a mid-level inception type or something. And then he just comes in and resurrects his career here, and
that's fine.
And he's our weekly guest.
Yes,
like we're if Ben Simmons ever came to Sacramento, we're like legit best friends with him. Like we. Well, I mean, by proxy, you. Yeah. I mean, me more than anyone.
Yeah.
Like we stood up.
I can speak his language.
Huh?
I can speak his language.
Absolutely.
Crikey.
See?
Yeah.
Instant bonding.
Yeah. I think I'd let you two have your moments.
We would definitely if Ben came here, we would get him in studio somehow, and then we would have Chris put together like a greatest hits of me just getting killed for wanting Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
Be like, Ben, I believed in you.
Yep.
And then I actually think we would actually, funny enough, I do think we would actually have, if we had an extended period of time, I think you establish that you're a fan. This is a safe space. There's a new home and a fresh start, and I empathize with you. Let's get into all the bullying and abuse you took. And I think we would actually have a really good interview about that. And I'll bet you anything, people listening would come out at the end of the hour being fans of Ben Simmons more than they were before.
I could see that.
If he joined the Kings, people would be fans of him.
I think so. I hope beyond, whether it's for the Kings or another team, I truly do hope that there is a day where Ben Simmons is able to resurrect his career, make the All-Star team, talk about what he went through mentally and physically, and over. How can you not root for Ben Simmons at this point? It baffles me.
I'd root for that. Odds of that are what?
Not great.
Yeah.
But you know what else wasn't great odds? Walking on the moon, Jason. And that allegedly happened.
Did we? Let's go there.
Keyshawn George. Now it sounds like Keyshawn George is an unsolved mystery.
Yes. Well, he kind of is.
We got to get to Keyshawn George, but
Matt's cousin.
Paul's nephew.
From Eddie's side?
Oh, friend of the show, Eddie George.
Yeah.
I also want to throw a quick shout out there since Chris
Son of
played
Phyllis.
Phyllis George is in charge. Was Phyllis George the one on NFL Today?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I know there's a lot of content creators out there, and I just want to invite you. I want to reiterate this because this came up again over the weekend. Can somebody please do a 48 hours or 60-minute style expose and or whatever? Can we please do an expose on women and crime shows? I need to know this. There's a phenomenon going in this world right now, and I am 100% stereotyping, and I don't care because I'm right. Now, it doesn't mean that no men watch these, and it doesn't mean that all women. Right, exactly.
I'm in. I watch them all the
You're
time.
talking about 2 of the 3 of the people in here.
I will simply invite you to do the following, and you got to be honest about it. Poll 10 women in your life. Okay, that out of context, that sounds bad. Ask 10 women in your life, do you watch and or listen to crime shows, podcasts, etc.?
Simone, do you listen to or watch crime shows or podcasts? Yes.
Yes. Okay, so there's one. I would be shocked if it was less than 9. I'm sitting there watching my wife and our friend that comes over, Shannon. There, I walk in on them talking about this episode.
You don't like them?
No, but that's not the point. No, I don't. But I don't care.
See, you're the only one in these 2 rooms who are like, on the outside.
I'm not trying to yuck anyone's yum. I'm not saying, oh, stupid women watching crime. This isn't my angle. This is my angle. I don't want to yuck. God bless them. Watch the shows. I'm saying I need to understand why every woman I know in my life is obsessed with crime shows.
They're entertaining.
White woman. Shouldn't you mean people?
No, I mean every.
Jason does.
But
Simone
not
does.
every. But that what I'm saying
do.
is not every male, and far from every male in my life.
So I think if you pull 10 male, 10 female, the number is going to be way higher. For
Well, I would say I think 10 and 10 is too short. I think if you went 100 and 100, yes, I won.
What do you think the splits are?
85-30.
30?
No way.
That of people that habitually, and by habitually I mean 2-3 times a week minimum, watch crime shows. What the hell is everyone? And by the way, and I acknowledge this. By the way, there's also a chance that maybe I'm in this weird bubble where it just so happens that my wife, her best friend, Katie, Camby, every woman I know watches these shows. But those are the only women that do.
But just by being there and now you've watched several.
Yes.
That
by proxy.
does
No,
nothing for you. Oh.
I don't get it. Why do people want to film? Every time I walk in, my wife now pauses when I walk in the room because she doesn't want me to make fun of it. Every single time I walk in.
That's not why she pauses it. She's trying to get away with it.
Well, that's what she says. She's like, I'm taking notes. I'll get home today, right? If I don't make a lot of noise, she won't hear me. And as I walk in from my day, 6-year-old Jenny Thompson was brutally raped and molested and left on the side of the road. Let's explore why. Why am I watching this? Why do I want to know about 34-year-old Dina Mitchell on her way home from her bartending job was beaten brutally and left on the side of the road with no clothes? What? Why do I
So you're
want...
not paying attention to the Karen Reed trial?
No,
right now?
I'm not at all. I know nothing. That's the first time I've heard that name. Now, maybe I'm out of the loop. I don't want my, there's enough crap. I don't want to over and over and over again. Oh, hey, let's watch a 30-minute show on molestation. Here's some rape. Here's some brutal murder. Here's some incest and some family stuff. Now I want to listen to the podcast to break down. Well, why did you do the raping and murdering?
Why do you play your phone game?
Because it's mindless.
Because he's bad at it and he has to restart it.
It's mindless, silly. I'm trying to make shapes connect. And then it goes, and I'm happy. I'm not sitting there going, oh my God, that poor little girl reminds me of my little girl and these parents and the people that went through this and all this horror and terrible whatever. And I just want to learn about, I want to read about it and listen to it. Like at some point, watch something cool. And by cool, I mean, that's not going to bring your entire, why are we addicted to this stuff? I can understand why people listen to sports shows. It's mindless. Sports are stupid. They're dumb. Seriously. They're a total mind blank.
And it guts you to the core when the Kings lose.
Well,
you do that every time.
Yes.
You sign up for that again.
Valid point. I'm going to move on because I don't have a response. But ultimately, the Kings losing, that's the worst thing that can happen. If I am gutted at the Kings losing,
which you are,
which I am, and I fully admit it, how do you think I feel if I was a fan of crime shows? Oh, did the Kings lose today? No. But the 9-year-old got brutally murdered. Which one should probably have more of an effect on my sensitive brain? I'm going to go with, I mean, look, it depends. But I'm just saying, I'm going with brutal.
Best case scenario, they catch the Golden State Killer.
Great. Yeah. Awesome. He's still Golden State killed. I'm super glad they caught him. I don't.
Yeah.
God forbid.
Some good detective work.
Great detective work. I don't. Does that make me sensitive? Does that make me, bubble around me? I don't know. Whatever. Fine.
I just don't think we like it how you put everything that you don't like as other.
As other.
It's like, oh, why do people watch that instead of doing something normal like what I do?
No, I didn't say that normal. I just said my whole life revolves around sports. I just got done saying sports.
You watch a lot of history stuff that's already happened.
A lot of history stuff.
How can you watch Hitler? Do you know how many things that he?
Great point. You're 100% right, dude. If I spent all my time talking about like greatest killings in war, part 12, like
Gilmore.
But for every Hitler, I've got 77 Magna Cartas and
the English never did
King
anything.
Louis and Chris Columbus's, great people like that.
Oh, you're close to him, Chris, huh?
Don't tell Dave about Christopher Columbus.
No, I don't want that podcast.
I did listen to a podcast about Christopher Columbus. Not that great a dude.
I listened to a podcast about Christopher Columbus. Amazing dude. Home Alone. He did the first Harry Potter. That's what we're talking about.
That's Chris Columbus.
Oh. As we break, I just want to bottom line it. Not yucking anyone's yum. If you're a murderer podcast, not a murderer. If you're a murder podcast, TV, God bless you. If that's how you pass your time, I'm not yucking it. I'm saying I just personally, in my tiny little snail brain, don't understand the attraction to it. That's all.
Maybe there's inherently more dangers for women everywhere, and we just like to be more attentive of it.
I understand, Simone, and that's what my wife says, like, hey, we want to be aware. And like I learned, I'm not immune to that, and I completely get it. It's a different world. Also, I don't know if I was somebody worried about that and I constantly watched, I just wouldn't ever leave the house ever. I would be that freaked out that all that's out there. I don't want to go anywhere ever because
we're all going to die.
We're all going to die, Simone. On that note, when we come back, what to watch and on that day, on this date in sports history, and we're all going to die. Stay tuned. Sacktown Sports.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sacktown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Cox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
Hey, it's Kyle Draper here to remind you that the famous Bay Area pizza company, Amici's East Coast Pizzeria, has just opened its first location in Sacramento, offering takeout and delivery to the greater Sacramento area. To check out the menu and order online, visit Amici's.com and click on the Sacramento banner. And as a special deal all this week, when you enter promo code SAC20 at checkout, they'll give you 20% off your entire order. So when you want to enjoy great pizzas with family and friends this week, use promo code SAC20 at Amici's.com and Amici's delivers.
Bentley is coming to town.
Hey, y'all, this is Dirk Bentley.
Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park at Cal Expo for Country in the Park 2. And he's bringing some friends.
This is Bonnie. Take my hand, let me make you mine.
Hey, it's Dasha, Kelsey Hart, and more. Saturday, September 28th at Heart Health Park at Cal Expo. Get your tickets before they sell out at CITPFest.com. Brought to you by Hyatt Vacation Club and Xfinity.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sacktown Sports.
All right, let's play up the chat line real quick. 916-339-1140. All right, personal text line. My wife needs help with the chicken thighs for the big kid party today. We're doing burgers and chicken thighs. And
veggie.
And veggie.
Veggie thighs.
Veggie thighs. Ew. And don't worry about why I watch murder shows. Just don't worry about it. Ooh. Okay.
Sounds like you might have to worry about that.
I think I'm going to worry about it. From the 916, front butt just made me burst out in laughter at work. Earbuds, thanks down the crazy random laughing guy. That's Rancho Mice. Okay.
You're welcome.
From the 916, no, I read an article once where executives for podcasts and shows said 80% of listeners and viewers to crime shows and podcasts are women. I'd have to see that, but you know, it sounds about right. Let's see. Eli McFly from the 916. I'm with Dave. Hello, ladies. Love true crime podcast and TV shows. That's what I need some data on this.
Okay.
Is this just anecdotal or is it a real thing? And then from the 530, my 68-year-old mom listens to a crime podcast, and their sign off is "Stay sexy, don't get murdered."
Yeah, it's my favorite murder.
I told you Chris would have heard it.
That's a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
Stay sexy, don't get murdered.
I knew he would.
Some of my best friends I've met through that podcast.
What? Some of your best friends you've met through?
I've talked about it. We've talked about.
Haven't you gone to see that podcast?
I saw them live twice. I took my mom to go see them for Christmas.
And what's it called?
My Favorite Murder.
Okay, but how did you talk to them?
What do you mean?
Okay, so you're watching or listening to the podcast. How did you make first contact with these people?
No, not with the people that do the. Actually, I am sort of friends with one of the women's husbands.
But I'm saying the listeners. I get that you're best
No,
friends.
it's one of those things like, what are you listening to? Like, I'm listening to My Favorite Murder. Oh, did you listen to this one? Oh, yeah. Did you hear this one? Oh, it's crazy when this one happened.
Are you saying some of your best friends happen to be fans of the podcast?
Or that's how we.
Or are you saying I have become some of my best friends I met through being a fan of the podcast?
I mean, I guess that's how you did.
And what I'm saying is that if point A is you didn't know these people, then B is you listen to it. What is between B and C how you get to know these people? Is there a message board you're talking to them on? You see what I'm trying to find out?
Yeah.
Okay,
No. It's like I've met people and we just like talked about it. It's
it was a bonding thing.
Yeah.
I gotcha. Okay. All right. Like a baseball team.
Like Ted Lasso.
Oh, you're a Giants.
Oh, you like Ted Lasso?
Okay. What's the one with Martin Short, the murder building?
Oh,
Only
that's
murders
great.
in the building.
That's fantastic.
But that's not a murder.
Oh, it's
That's-
not?
I mean,
It says only murders in the building. It's
That's-
shocking.
It's a sitcom.
It's a
sitcom?
It's funny.
But isn't it about a podcast about...
Yeah.
Right.
But it's really well done.
Like, I had Unsolved Mysteries, and I was fine with it. That was my murder podcast.
But you liked it.
I liked it.
The storytelling.
Right.
Figuring out solving it at the end.
There's a really good show. It's got a weird name, but it's on Netflix with Will Forte, and he plays a guy that has a murder podcast in Ireland.
MacGruber?
It's not MacGruber.
Murder
It's like
Gruber.
Badonk, but it's not.
Badonk. Okay. All right. Enough.
Okay. What's next?
All right. What's next? Mike Tomlin is going to be with the Pittsburgh Steelers for the foreseeable future. He will now go into his 18th year as a head coach. Not just a head coach for one of the tentpole franchises in the NFL. Not just a head coach, but a head coach that started coaching, back at a time where, I'm not saying there weren't any black head coaches when he became a head coach 17 years ago, but I would say it was not as prevalent in a time
What's
between.
scary is I think there's kind of less now.
Are there really? I'd like to see the numbers on that, because you hear like, oh, they're doing better, and then I'm also more interested in that. That's where I was going with Tomlin. Is you also have this, and again, this is anecdotal, but it also seems sometimes like certain coaches don't get the same leash that others get, and they get fired quicker. Well, Tomlin, hasn't had any disaster seasons, but there were probably a couple times where he was a game or two over 500. They're like, maybe it's time for a change.
Yeah, other organizations would have done it.
Yeah.
And so I don't know why their philosophy has been this, but it clearly has been. And knowing that sports is a copy, Pittsburgh's very successful.
Yes.
By and large, right? They've won Super Bowls. They have winning seasons.
Yeah.
That this formula has worked for them.
They are the anti-modern day Los Angeles Lakers. We were talking all morning about how Jeannie Buss didn't know how to run a franchise. They're a joke. The Pittsburgh Steelers are if Dan Hurley were a football coach and the same thing had happened, and let's say he was at Michigan, they won the national title, and he was going to visit with the Steelers, he's having his press conference today. That's the difference.
Yeah, and it's probably a catch-all phrase that people could use when, let's say, coach for whatever NFL team has been there for 5 years. Year 1, 2, and 3 are good. 4 starts to fizzle. 5 is bad, and then there's like he's lost the locker room.
Right.
Like I think that's just an easy thing to say. In 18, he's never lost the locker room.
No, and
or it has it. You know what I mean? Like what?
Well, hold on a second.
Yeah.
He also was the coach of one of the, if not the most cantankerous weirdo in modern NFL, in Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
And he got the best years out of Antonio Brown. And you know what happened when he finally did lose Antonio Brown? See ya.
Yeah.
He has that leverage.
Right. But it's like, so being copycat, like why don't more organizations just in general in all sports do this? There's a few that, like right now, the point you made earlier, like in a 5-year sample size of the Spurs right now and Greg Popovich, you look at his record and go, ugh.
Right.
But it's not a 5-year sample size. It's the whole big picture. The Warriors have missed the playoffs, and they're not changing out on Kerr. Because he won titles. Yeah, sure, maybe. But Miami and Spoelstra and just, I don't know. It seems like obviously they've won some. They haven't won all of them, but they've won a lot, and they've elected to go that way where other organizations have won. Coach Bud's won a title. He's on a third team.
He's on the third team, and the Bucks have now gone through 2 coaches in a year.
Him.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's just simply, it's like, when it's like, why doesn't everybody stay married for 30 years? Well, some people stay in a loveless, terrible marriage just to do it, but some people go, nope, I got to cut bait right now so I can go find somebody else that's better, and maybe they do.
Yeah.
But I think ultimately it comes down to talent evaluation. And that comes from both we talk about scouting players, about scouting coaches.
Yeah.
Well, who's scouting the coaches? Generally, it's people that aren't professional basketball players. It's GMs and it's owners that insist on getting involved. And once again, owners don't want to hear this. You've never played. You've never been a pro. You have no business your opinion. If I go to Bobby Flay's, I like to eat food. That doesn't mean I go to Bobby Flay's restaurant and say, oh, you know what? Let's brown the onions a little bit more. That's my vote. I have nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Well, and also then on the Tomlin side, like when he first started, he was one of the youngest coaches, if I remember, maybe the youngest coach in the NFL.
Yeah.
Well, he's not that anymore, and it's not like he's terribly old, but there has to be some progression in his involvement as a coach, right? He's had to have adapt to just the next generation, the younger group. Okay, what are their, I mean, as a coach too, there's as much of, it's really leadership and saying, this is what our organization stands for. This is what we're going to do. This is what I stand for. These are my expectations. Let's fit inside these parameters. But also, can you find the sweet spot of what are the days where we have some fun? What are the days where I push back and I'm like, I'm all over these guys today. And then, you know, I today I'm not.
But you have to be able to adjust to your point. Yeah. It changes.
Right.
We used to cover the Kings and they were all our age. We can talk about all that. We knew all the same music.
Yeah, it's different now.
Now it's like, hey, son, how you doing? Yeah, I remember the Beatles, you know.
Yeah, like legitimately, like, it's like, hey, like it'd be fun to hang out with Chris Webber and Doug Christie. It's like now it's like, I mean, it would be fun to hang out with De'Aaron, but like there's a huge age gap there.
And a large vocabulary cap probably where we're like, yes, no cap. Right. I know what your head.
Yeah, no, I'm not wearing a cap.
I'm not wearing. Mike Tomlin is incidentally 34 years old when he took the job. He's now 52, and that's the scary thing.
I found your answer. This doesn't count like the new hires in this season, but 2023 to when Mike Tomlin was a coach in 2007, there were 7 head coaches that were African American, and in 2023 there was 3.
Wait, so when
7 when he started,
and 3
6
now?
when he started. 6 including him when he started,
and 3 now.
Yes.
What the hell? What the hell, says the guy who wants to, you know. Yeah, great question, Dave. That's so back when. Okay, so earlier in the segment where I said, "Hey, back when there weren't as many," you know, now they. So just flip that. Things are progressing in the NFL. God bless them. We'll take a break when we come back. What to watch tonight and on this day in sports history next.
Malik Monk plays here.
Started left, goes right, steps back, launches the 3. Nothing but net. Oh, that was just filthy. Oh, my, that was sweet.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave inviting you to make the switch to electric this spring and save big with American Energy. Stay ahead of those spiking energy bills this summer with up to $9,000 in rebates on a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. American Energy is providing huge rebates from SMUD as well as spring specials by installing one of many incredibly efficient AC options available to you right now. Get rid of those fluctuating gas bills in the winter and switch to year-round all-electric with American Energy. Let them perform a free in-home energy efficiency analysis and see where they can help you save for the warmer months ahead. These guys are the best. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ from the Better Business Bureau. Learn more by calling 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
I'm Craig Ashton of the injury law firm of Ashton & Price. Whether you've been injured on a bicycle, as a pedestrian in a slip and fall, auto, Uber, Lyft, or big rig accident, you need Ashton & Price in your corner. When you call Ashton & Price, there's no chatbot telling you to hit 3 for accounting. You're greeted by a real live person who will immediately transfer you to an experienced attorney. The consultation's free, and there's never a fee until you win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Get ready for the Kia Vacaville Summer Sticker Sales Event. This is your chance to make it a summer to remember with incredible deals on select 2024 Sportage and Sorento vehicles. Kia Vacaville is offering an amazing 1.9% APR for up to 48 months for well-qualified buyers. Or you'll get $1,000 bonus cash on specialty tag 2024 Sportage and Sorento models. It's the perfect time to upgrade your ride and start your summer adventures. Imagine cruising down the highway in your new Kia from Kia Vacaville, enjoying the advanced features and comfort of the Sportage or Sorento. Whether you're planning a road trip or just driving around town, these vehicles are designed to elevate your experience. But don't wait too long. These unbeatable deals won't last forever. Your adventure starts now at Kia Vacaville, where every journey is an adventure. Visit them today and find the perfect vehicle for your summer plans. Model availability, lease options, and features may vary. Please visit Kia Vacaville for more details.
Join us for the Gold Rush Classic at Rancho Murrieta, August 22nd and 23rd, where golf, charity, and the star-studded fun all come together on the greens. The Gold Rush Classic is a celebrity pro-am golf tournament, a $1 million hole-in-one contest, a celebrity skins challenge, a celebrity draft party, an awards party, a farm-to-fork dinner, and a fantastic concert under the stars. Witness history as these all-pros and Hall of Famers take a swing for charity and show their skill at Rancho Murrieta's championship golf course. We're we're still looking for a few good sponsors. Here's your chance to tee off with a former All-Pro or Hall of Famer like Brown, Miller, Falk, Polanese, and Theus. Don't miss out on this exclusive offer. Reserve your sponsorship or foursome today. Call John Jacobs at 916-806-0939 or go to goldrushclassic.org. Make a difference while playing the game you love at the Gold Rush Classic, where golf, charity, and the star-studded fun all come together. For more information, visit goldrushclassic.org.
I remember as if it were yesterday. I reached down to move a nightstand and was astonished at the weight of the piece. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. At that moment, I instantly recognized the difference between Naturewood's quality furniture that will last a lifetime versus lesser quality furniture found elsewhere. Now, I suppose there's a huge difference in what you'd put in your first apartment and what you would live with in the comfort of your own home. Right now, Naturewood Home Furnishings Made in USA sale is a great time to fill your home with solid, superior quality furniture to reflect your own love for life. With brands like Sam Moore, Stanton, Stickley, Hilltop Hickory, Simply Amish, and many more, Naturewood Home Furnishings has tables, chairs, couches, and, yes, nightstands, and more at their Made in USA sale. Find furniture that will be with you forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sacktown Sports.
So as I was just coming down the hall back to the studio, our amazing traffic coordinator, president of commercials, I don't know, whatever, Angie, who does
production.
Thank you. I think is most president of commercials, Angie. Well, I think is maybe the most.
Your mic isn't working. Yeah,
Did your mic just die?
I think it did. Hello.
Is the mic that was broken? No.
Yeah, no.
I can't hear it. Now, is the mic that broke yesterday working?
Let's see.
Yes, it
That
is.
is working.
It's just a daily thing. You just need to have both mics. This didn't happen in Madison.
Try that now, Jason.
He is. He's banging on
He
it.
didn't turn it on.
No, it's on.
No, it's not on.
I'm seeing the blue light. There we go.
It's a red light.
Red light.
Green light.
Go.
So I was walking down the hall all the way back to the studio.
Okay.
And before I got in view of Angie, who's in her office, she started saying, "Hey, I've got some spots for you to cut after the show." And I was like, "Okay, cool. See you in a few." And I kept walking. And then I stopped midway down. I was like, "Wait a minute. I haven't spoken since I came back upstairs. Did she know it was me by the sound of my walking?"
Yes.
Does that mean I have a very specific gait?
Yes.
I do? Is it what kind of a gait is it? Is it a clomping?
Like clomp.
It's I'm a clomper? Clomp.
I can hear you coming down the hall.
You know when it's me?
Yes.
Clomp Michael Dave.
So we've got.
But to be fair,
Yeah.
I think this is definitely from COVID too, is that we got used to listening to the hallway to it's not that you are just pounding your feet on the way down.
Right.
It's just that you might hear a key jingle that usually is with you or something like that.
So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I would say regular people up here. Chad, Sonia, Angie, Cody, Pat, Tom, and then the three of us. 9. Chris, if you had a blind clomp test on the 8 people, how many do you think you'd get right?
Well, definitely you and Jason.
Jason has a specific clump.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a presence.
I think that's what it is. It's like you're thinking about like what time the person is coming in.
Okay.
And I think what door you come in.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's more than
a lot of this has to do with like sometimes you are later getting to the studio. So I'm used to listening for your shoes. So I'm used to knowing what it sounds like for you to walk down the hall.
Okay. So it's more than, okay. I got it. Okay. So it's not, okay. That's fine. If you have like a telltale sign. Let's see from the chat line. Oh, hey, do you ever take the skin off of ribs when you cook them? Yeah, I take the membrane off. Real good trick. Take a butter knife, get a corner of the membrane, and then grab a paper towel. Use the paper towel to grab the corner of the membrane and rip it out, because otherwise it'll slip through your fingers. Yeah,
that's insane.
Huh? Did you both say that's insane? Oh, in the membrane.
There you go.
Hey, guy, Cypress Hill, shout out. Rest in peace. Although I think they're still alive.
Yeah.
But if I meant when they're like asleep at night. Oh. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Like have a good night's sleep. It's important.
Yeah.
A's and Padres tonight. A's down in San Diego. That means the Whale Stadium.
It does.
What I believe San Diego means. Astros at Giants. A little walk-off for the Gigantics last night.
Nice comeback.
Nice. Yeah,
gave up a couple, and then they got it back and won.
Actually watched the end of the game with my son, weirdly.
Did you hear the call by Kuiper, by the way?
Did I? Oh, we had the sound down. No.
Okay. I mean, there's nothing.
Was it? What?
Oh, do you have it?
Oh, do we have? Oh, hold on. I think we do have it.
It was. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but I just want you to hear it.
Oh,
actually.
Yes, you have to listen to it.
Here we go.
This is the whole thing.
High drive to left. It is off the wall.
This one is over. They did it. They came back in the bottom of the 10th.
That's a huge moment for Austin Slater to come up with that winning hit.
Okay,
I think that was edited.
My favorite comment on that call
Yeah.
was when someone says, "Hurry, what's your favorite Michael Jackson album?"
Thriller.
Off the wall.
I was like, off the wall.
But that was edited.
That was edited.
Because he had a much longer, like
Was
in
it a lot
real
longer?
time, it was, it is. And I'm looking at it, go, I don't think that's a home run, but it doesn't matter. The game's over. And I'm like, I was
Off the
waiting for
wall,
out of
right,
here, and then pause.
Oh, wow.
pause.
Really?
Yeah. And then it was off the wall. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but
I wonder why.
I think maybe he thought it was gone.
And I
which is
love
okay.
Kuiper, and I love his home run calls so much. But you think like he just, it's just saying, you can be like, and it is
over.
All
I thought he was
over.
saying
Right,
it
right,
is, and
right.
I thought he was going to say over.
Right. You got it, Chris?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
High drive to left. It is off the wall. Drive to left.
That's funny.
Quick, what's your favorite Michael Jackson album?
Off the wall. That was actually edited because that was longer.
Yeah.
Maybe you like that. Thriller? I can't name
I'm a dangerous guy.
Are you a
That's
dangerous?
the one I was thinking of, yeah.
No, but what's your favorite Michael Jackson album? On this date in sports history, Michael Jordan scored 38 to give the Bulls a 3-2 series lead over the Jazz. Jason Ross, that was known as the flu game.
Which then when we watched the
30 for 30.
Yeah, the
or whatever it was, yeah.
Yeah, I guess he claimed it was bad pizza.
Are you a pizza guy? I'm a pizza guy.
Food poisoning.
Pizza guys, by the way, the pizza guy actually disputes that.
Yeah.
It was a bad pizza. So he made it himself. In 2005, Mike Tyson quit after the 6th round against journeyman fighter Kevin McBride.
I do not remember that fight.
I don't at all. Kevin McBride, not sure if that's any relation to Danny, but would be funny if it was. That was Tyson's last fight until he's supposed to fight one of the Pauls, and then he
Chris.
had a ulcer. That is like the ultimate old man thing to have to play.
Got an
ulcer. I'll be back. All right, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, Styles, Watkins, celebrity birthdays, and more. Right after this.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out sacktownsports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on sacktownsports.com.
Ooh, ma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very
calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business calm at ooma.com/radio.
We see a lot of news about teens vaping, but teens see something else. Videos on social media that glamorize it and downplay the dangers of nicotine. How can parents talk so kids will listen? Use facts. 1. Nicotine can rewire teens' brains. 2. It can make teens more anxious. 3. Changes to the brain can be permanent. So even when it hides behind a new look, nicotine is brain poison. Go to undo.org for more.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
I'm surprised at how many players wait too long to have their golf clubs regripped. I'll pick up my playing partner's clubs when they're left near the green, and that's when I noticed that some of the problems in their games could be attributed to worn golf grips. If yours are shiny or worn when you play, you're probably gripping the club too strongly for fear of losing it during a swing. The golf grip is your connection to the club, and fresh grips let you hold the club lightly, promoting proper swing mechanics and swing action. Many of us simply replace the grips with the same product that was on the club, but with so many different types of materials, colors, tackiness, softness, and more, you'll find plenty of sizes and colors to fit your game and your personality. Your local pro shop or club fitter can re-grip your clubs, or you can purchase a kit and do it yourself. Either way, re-gripping once a year is an inexpensive and fast way to bring a noticeable change to your game and to give your clubs that new club feel. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Hey sports fans, it's JaVale McGee here. Are you ready for the event of the summer? It's the Jug Life Charity Softball Game hosted at Sutter Health Park on Saturday, June 15th. Join me and all my celebrity friends for the #1 event of the summer as our incredible community comes together for a cause that counts. The Jug Life Charity Softball Game isn't just about softball. It's about giving back. All proceeds go to the water education programs and providing clean water to communities in need. Thanks to your support, our team with Jug Life is making a real difference, bringing hope and health to those who need it the most. Bring your family and friends for a day you won't forget. Cheer on your favorite stars as they hit it out the park for a great cause. Come celebrate Father's Day weekend at the Jug Life Charity Softball Game that's happening on Saturday, June 15th. Don't miss out. Get your tickets now at juglifewater.com. That's juglifewater.com. Join us, have fun, and make a difference. Jug Life. Drink water, give water, save water.
My good friends, Dr. Jack Friedlander and Dr. Pash in Roseville and in San Francisco are offering not only confidence, not only security, but also the ability, if you ain't insecure, to go from the roster to the all-star team. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about UpsizeMatters.com. Time after time, vote after vote, circumference, or as we call it, girth, is consistently ranked as the most important attribute. And Dr. Jack and Dr. Pash can give you a free consultation. The procedure can be done on the same day as your consultation with immediate results. It's non-surgical. It's virtually pain-free, safe, effective, long-lasting, semi-permanent, and doctor-performed. For more information, go to UpsizeMatters.com. Go to UpsizeMatters.com. Make that change. Make the all-star team. Get your girth on.
It's time for the news of the day.
The latest headlines, the biggest stories, hard-hitting analysis.
Yeah, this is none of those things. And now, here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
Yeah, right. Mike check. Chris Watkins, I can hear you. Wow. Jason.
Hello.
Hey, Alan.
Check 1, check 2.
Hey, let's go. How are you guys
yours
doing?
isn't on.
How you doing?
Great.
Yeah,
I did want to say something, and I hate to invite myself, but see, it's a sad story, as a lot of people
to our show
know.
meeting on Thursday.
As a lot of people know, I tore my Achilles. Saturday will be a year.
Who knows that?
And it was the day before my first Father's Day, and I had this great golf outing planned, and obviously I didn't get to attend. And,
yes.
A year later, now in Sacramento, I don't have the same friend group in the same location as I used to. And, I heard Dave talk about golfing on Sunday for Father's Day, and I was just kind of curious if, you maybe had room for one more.
Well, Alan, I'll tell you something. No.
Please, sir. May I have some more green tea?
We do not have room.
Maybe, please.
No, we don't have room. It's already me and another guy.
Well, yeah.
I thought you're allowed 4.
Yeah, that's
not at the place we're going.
Oh,
no,
okay.
It's only twosomes.
Scandia.
Secondly,
playing the US Open.
That's where I'm going to end up.
Secondly, we're not going to be in town. I will not.
You said up the hill.
Yeah, up past Pollock Pond. You want to drive an hour plus? I'm asking you. If you do, let me see. I honestly up the hill.
That
meaning,
is up the hill.
Yeah, up the hill. It's past Pollock Pines. It's up there,
like Tahoe.
Not between. It's Truckee
before Tahoe.
Yeah.
Oh,
Truckee's about.
And then you're driving back for the show Monday.
After golf, yeah. Well, it's on Sunday. It's not like I'm driving from Oregon. And then I'm just saying. I'll tell you exactly. From here, the drive would be Alan Styles.
An hour and 22.
Hour 43. That's right now, though.
Hour 43.
Hour 43. You want to drive an hour 43? I'll call right after the show. What I was going to say, though, to prove that I'm not just trying to make up a story to not socialize, the longest running charitable golf tournament in Sacramento, which my dad was actually a part of for many, many years as the MC and also played in it, is happening at Ansel Hoffman Park. I know. Jason will witness this. I actually informed him that there's now an opening in the foursome for this on Friday if you want to come play with us.
What time is it
at? We got to be there by 11:30.
You busy?
What? We got a bullpen.
Let me talk to Chris.
Just saying.
No.
Not you.
The other Chris.
Oh, the other Chris. Well, Chris can't do
Must
this.
be a third Chris.
We'll talk off.
Jason was gone for 2 weeks. I did the show by myself. What? You're saying Chris can't do a show by himself?
Yeah.
Wow. Chris like, nope, I'm saying it.
Yes.
All right, we'll just.
Yeah. Well, hey, I had to shoot my shot. That's all you got.
shot your shot, and I shot it back, and you kind of wiped it off. Right.
Well,
wait, what? I don't know either.
Don't look at me.
Hey, do either of you listen to murder podcasts or watch murder shows?
No. I watch Investigative Discovery ID.
You?
No.
Okay, so that's
Wives with Knives.
Yeah.
So just you and Chris.
Me and now all of a sudden,
Pockets.
so it's 3-2. Now the three of you
and Simone.
It's a 4 of us.
No, but I thought you were talking about just guys.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. In my little survey.
Okay, so 3-1. So 75% of men, huh?
75% of 5 men. Yes.
Campus killers.
Birthdays are meant to be spent with family and friends. Nothing says family and friends.
Southern fried.
Southern fried homicide.
Yes.
More than crumble cookies. Jason Ross.
Happy birthday, Joe.
Montana.
Mama.
Joe Montana is correct.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Not Joe Montana?
No.
I graduated with his son, actually.
Yeah.
His
Joe
older son,
Montana's?
Nate Montana.
Oh.
Nate Littlefield, Montana.
Joe Montana. I think I'm going to get this. I'm going to be within 1 year is my prediction. Hold on here. 68.
Well, yeah, it's a good call, but I'm basing it on my parents. I'm going to say 66.
Ooh.
That's what I wanted.
65.
67.
I think it's 68 or 67.
We have a correct answer. Yeah. Carmichael Dave, you're good at math. 68.
What?
Let's go.
Happy
number 16, baby.
birthday, Diana.
Rossi.
Ross. Rossini.
Rossi.
Diana
Ruffling some
Taurasi.
feathers.
Yes.
Team USA.
I know it's like not even her fault. Like
I got
you know what I'm
Kevin
saying?
Hart fatigue, man. I can't.
I'm with you. That's what I'm saying. I don't even want to talk about it.
Me
anymore.
neither.
I've said this before. I had a buddy in another market call me. He's like, I don't want to talk about the WNBA because every time I do, people that are into the WNBA like completely make fun of me because I don't really know that much of what I'm talking about, so I don't want to talk about it.
It's a transition period. Diana Taurasi.
Diana Taurasi is 35.
No, I was gonna say 37.
You paused.
She's, I'll say 39.
41.
I think she might be in her 40s.
Chris Verlaut is close as 42.
Yeah.
Wow.
From the 209, Dwayne Kuiper said this morning on his radio hit, it was a white ball and a white wall where the ball hit, and it was hard to see where it hit. Meanwhile,
the Tim Ryan excuse.
Mike was doing hand signals to him, letting him know where the ball hit. Mike Kruger.
I was watching that live. It is. The game was over.
It was tough to tell. It was
Off the
definitely
wall.
tough to tell.
Yeah. All right.
I saw it.
Happy birthday to former King Chuck Hayes.
Oh my gosh. Chuck Hayes.
Chuck Hayes, Duck
The
Hayes,
wagon.
whack, whack.
The wagon.
Modesto Christian?
Can I
Yes.
say Chuck Hayes is the only player I've actually heckled in real life?
Wow.
Wow.
I could not.
At the
just
grocery store or
couldn't
something?
stand- No, every game I could go to. Which was
35.
The wagon. 36.
I'll say 40.
He's got to be 43.
He's got to be.
Chris Watkins is close as 41.
All right.
Happy birthday, Dr. Oz.
Dr. Oz is like 70.
Gross.
Agreed.
71.
No, Oz is short
I'll
for
say
osmosis.
66.
Watch
68.
MasterChef.
Not a lot, no.
His daughter's on there.
Dr. Oz.
I don't know why.
Daughter Oz.
Daughter Oz. Really good. That's well done.
She's a wizard.
How old is she? You're a wizard.
Wizard of Oz.
I know you like Harry Potter.
I forgot who said what. 64.
Yeah, I got it.
That was
me.
you were the
Yep,
closest.
that was all of us.
Yes. Happy birthday. Let's go with Peter Dinklage.
Oh, this is a big one.
From Tiptoes.
Elf.
From Game of Thrones.
Yeah, Game of
Oh.
Also, if you never saw his Between Two Ferns,
No.
it's excellent.
Really?
Yeah, they talk about their friend Chad Farthouse, as a matter of fact. Go watch it.
Oh, he's Space Pants too, Jason.
Peter Dinklage is probably older than we think. 61.
Yeah, he got popping, but it's a matter of how old was he when he got popping. So I'll say 52.
I'll say 57.
I'm going to say 46.
Ooh, I like it.
We're all over the place. Chris Watkins is the closest, 55.
Oh.
I said 52.
I know, he said 57. With the breakdown?
No. Where's my TI-84?
Happy birthday, Shia LaBeouf.
That's the boy.
Shia.
Even
Is
Stevens.
he?
Yeah.
Shia LaBeouf.
Sacramento's own.
Is he?
No,
Oh.
Even Stevens was shot.
Yeah.
He's
Beans.
46.
No.
45.
I'll
Not
say
this
36.
No. 38.
Ooh, that's what I wanted to go with. I'll go with 37.
We have a correct answer. It's a big one. Alan Stiles.
Yeah.
38. He needed it.
Shia.
What's coming up on the Shio today?
The other side.
Got
Chris
him.
almost spit out
Wow.
his drink.
Okay.
Almost a
Wow.
spit
The
take.
other side
Yeah,
of
you
Sasha
can see it.
Vezenkov and whether or not the Kings
The other side
reached out to him first about that.
Saw the replay.
NBA draft stuff as well, and some more free agents and trade targets. A couple from the Bay.
Who?
Don't say.
Gonna have to listen.
Come on, tell me one.
Well, he made life very tough on Sabonis.
Steph Curry.
Likely to be
Arvidas.
released.
His dad when he was growing up.
You'll have to tune in.
All right, I'm tuning in then. For Chris Verlaut, for Jason Ross, I'm Carmichael Dave. These guys are next. Please enjoy them. Bye-bye now.
Our first year as the radio home of the San Francisco 49ers is one we will never forget.
And here's Purdy going to throw one deep, wide